Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's in the building tonight. Shout out to everybody that's in the building tonight. Do me a favor and hit that like button on the way in. And don't forget to go tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this live. I'm about to get into this work. Y'all already know what it is. I never started off by saying fuck the rest, but I will tell you I am the best. You dig what I'm saying? You know, I gave some people some time to do their shows and do whatever they wanted to do and give their aspect and their analogy of the situation with P. Diddy. I appreciate you, Big Travis. I appreciate you. You know we do it right over here. It's all welcome. It's all love. I appreciate you for pulling up. I appreciate you for the subscription because obviously you subscribe because it's on subscribers only. And shout out to Paul and them. You dig what I'm saying? And Brian and them. You dig? I had a great time over there, man. I got a quote-unquote good one for y'all today, man. I got a quote-unquote good one for y'all. Hey, Miss Jackie. I see you in the building, Miss Jackie. I appreciate you for pulling up. I appreciate you for pulling up to the BUILDING. Really do appreciate y'all for coming over here, you know. Don't let it be your last time. I think I got a good one. But before we get into this, I'm going to start this out with some little, you know, it's a little open poetry. Some little open poetry. Some little open poetry. You know, some little open poetry. I don't want to get upset, but I'm going to get into some open poetry, y'all. You dig what I'm saying? We're going to get into a little open poetry. Let's go.
The prettiest girl at the party. I walk up to her, we dance, talk for hours. I love everything she said.
Hey, YouTube usage.
Somehow after we ended up in the bed, 9 months later, out popped the head. I ended up marrying her, and it happened fast, but that's all right. You see, I was never the type to believe in love at first sight, but words can express what I felt that night. And I still feel that way. I love her and my little girl. Hope to even have a boy someday. But money's a little tight, so that's going to have to wait. Until last week, my daughter asked me, Daddy, why don't I look like you?
Pay attention, y'all.
I said, you look more like your mom. That's fine. She goes, yeah, but you and I don't look alike. And that made me curious. I ain't going to lie. So later down the line, I took the test to find she wasn't mine. I go to my wife. I say, are you out your mind? You told her she was mine when you knew you were lying. So who's this she then? Actually, I don't even want to know. Daughter comes running in. Daddy, Daddy, what's wrong? I said, go to your room. She says, Daddy, Daddy. I said, baby, move. She says, Daddy. I said, I'm not your daddy. Her face confused.
Smash that like button, y'all.
Baby, go to your room. Why would you tell her that? I said, why wouldn't you? She said, okay. Okay, I'm sorry for not telling you. When we met, I was about a month pregnant. I made a mistake, it's true, but it turned out you were an amazing dude. So no, you're not her daddy because you helped create her bloom, but you are her daddy because you raised her too. I stepped back. She stepped forward. I said, step back. You mean to tell me this whole time I was a stepdad? Not that anything's wrong with being a stepdad, but I'm sure you would get mad if you didn't expect that. She said, I'm sorry. I said, yeah, well, I'm sorry too. She said, what's that supposed to mean? I said, oh, we going to Maury, boo. I want the world to see how such a charming dude can get hurt by someone as harmful as you. I don't mind staying in her life as just a dad, but I'm divorcing your deceptive ass. Because it's just the fact that what else did you lie about? Like, this is a mess. It's bad. Actually, baby, come back in the room. Now tell her who's her dad. She said, sweetheart, your father's name is Chad. Finally hearing it, I wanted to smack. Ooh, I'm so glad I was raised better than that. But I still feel like I needed to attack, punch the hole in the wall. They both react. Ring, 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 ring. Her phone says Chad. I picked up so fast. Hello? He hangs up. Will I call back? Hello? He hangs up. Will I call back? Hello? He says, yo, my bad. I must have had the wrong number. I got so mad. I said, so y'all both just liars? Like, that's so sad. I already know about you, Chad. You can have her, but you can't have my little girl. To me, she means the entire world. He said, now, hold on, dude. That's my daughter, too. And there's plenty things that I taught her, too. I said, wait, you sound familiar. Where you from? The mom interrupts. Okay, that's enough. I said, no, you let him talk. He said, then her phone dies. I can't make this up. but I was invested. I was all in. I said, nah, give me his number. I'm going to call him. She said, you really think this is a good time for all this? You don't see your daughter in the corner balling? I said, but I just got to know. She said, yes, but what's that going to do? Before you knew anything, everything
Mimi,
was
that's
perfect,
me.
right?
I see you.
You're always looking just to find and ruin something that's just fine. I said, are you really trying to justify that you just be lying? This toxic witch was trying to botch and twist my thoughts with this, but it was working. What she said made lots of sense. If I never hopped the fence and tried to get the info that she was not my kid, I never would have been in a spot this sick. Is it better to not know if someone's playing me? Y'all know how that song go. I thought it was silly at first, but it's not though. What he meant was as long as she's not publicly embarrassing me, why should it matter to me what she's doing behind those closed doors casually? I mean, if she's married to me, wait, am I really believing this baby there? Like, am I really thinking this baby there? I feel so weak. Babe! Then I wake up from the dream I'm in. I say, yo, who is Chad? She laughed and asked, yeah, who is that? I was glad. I rubbed her round, stomach in a swirl. I said, I don't know, I just can't wait to have our little girl. Then her phone goes ring. I look at it like, that's Chad, jokingly, but it was, and I said, I thought you didn't know that name. I go insane. She said, wait, I said, let go of me. She said, but I can't, explain. To be continued, thank you.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. The sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?
Shout out to everybody that's pulling up in the building tonight. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up in the building tonight. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up in the building tonight, y'all. And shout out to my man Wild Paul over there. I call him Paul Wall. I just put his subscription down in the link. Please get over there and subscribe to Pimp Unslaved. I mean, shout it out to him. I had a great time over there yesterday. Yo, Shaq, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. Positive, everybody that's pulling up with this positive love. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to, let me see. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, I want you to do me a favor. Put the dice cubes up. If you got me crystal clear, put the dice cubes up so I can get into this work. I just want to know if I can hear y'all crystal clear. If I can go through the roll call and I can shout it out to all the great people that pulled up tonight. I really appreciate that. Yes, I do. Because that's the way. I like it. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. You dig what I'm saying? Somebody let me know that y'all hear me crystal clear if I can get into this right quick. You dig? Like I say, y'all know the slogan. And I've been out here since Hulk Hogan. You know, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? You are now dealing with the host. I appreciate you, Miss Jackie and Miss Mimi. That's me. You are now rocking with the best. This is Team Guardian. You are now around Team Guardian. It's nothing but love over here. My name is Big Dice, the host. You dig? Travis, I see you in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. Everybody that's coming over here from Pimp Unslaved, great podcast. I put the link in the description. I put the link in the description already, y'all, so make sure everybody goes over there inside. It's another one coming up. It's another one. Yo, FTC, I had a great bill over there yesterday. We got KD the Kid up in the building. I see you. We got Miss Jackie. I appreciate you for pulling up in the building. And that's what that stands for. Good to see you. I couldn't figure that out for nothing. We got my brother from another mother, FTC Vice. He is in the building. And we got Miss Mimi. That's me. You dig? Y'all looking like a pack of annihilators. I love it. We got Big Gary over here in the building. Big Gary in the building. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. We got Big Shaq. We got Big Shaq up in the building. Y'all know how we do it. We got some more people that's going to pop up. For the people that's here now, I appreciate you. For the people that's popping up, I appreciate you. And for the people that watching on the replay, I appreciate you. But you know, I've been sitting up, running around, doing some things. I've been paying attention. I've been watching the YouTube streets. The bulk part is shout out to Pimp. Shout out to Big Paul Wall over there, man. That's content. Shout out to Brian O'Shea. That's content. You dig what I'm saying? It's not too much descriptions or applications of content being shown on YouTube streets. But y'all know what I do. It is me, Big Dice the Ruler, and I've been getting money since what? If y'all don't know the saying, y'all got to know the saying if y'all going to be over here. It's Big Dice the Ruler. I've been getting money since Calvin Coolers. You dig what I'm saying? Since Calvin Coolers. I know y'all of age, so don't act like y'all don't know what Calvin Coolers is. Can you dig it? And I am the son of this beautiful woman right here. Her name is Sharon McLeod. I miss my baby so much. You dig what I'm saying? The grandson of this beautiful, beautiful couple right here, Fred and Edna McLeod. Alhamdulillah. And y'all already know I'm from the planet Brooklyn. Y'all already know that I'm from the planet Brooklyn. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors in a little while, so I got to do that. Shout out to my man Walton. I'm over there at The Real Fronto. If you have an Instagram, make sure you go over to The Real Fronto on Instagram. And if you don't have Instagram, go on to www.therealfronto.com. That's for the people that's into the grabber and into the good fronto leaf, fresh fronto leaf. If you're in the tri-state area, they sell it up there. But we got a great thing too. If you order it over the phone, it'll come right to your door in a sealed package, crystal clear and fresh. You can buy it all the way up from the ounce of grabber all the way up to the pound. You can buy the 5 leaf of fronto leaf all the way up to the pound, which is 17 to 21 leaves. And if you put in the description when you go over there and follow them on The Real Fronto on Instagram, if you tell them Big Dice sent you, I promise you, he'll throw something extra in there. Shout out to my man Dave Davin over at Legal Guap. You can go get him on Instagram, Legal Guap on Instagram, Rondo Reddo on Facebook, and 03 Bulk Pulp at Instagram. My man got the clothing line. This is my guy right here from West Oakland. Shout out to my guy from West Oakland. Y'all know he got the clothing line over there. He got the hats for the ladies, the duckbill hats. Here go a couple of them. He has the sweatsuits for the ladies too. And as you can see earlier right there, he had the sweatsuits for the gentlemen too. He also has the sweatsuits for the kids. You know what I'm saying? For our babies. You dig what I'm saying? For the babies, you see that Legal Guap wear. Got them for the young princes. We got them for everybody. You dig what I'm saying? Got the great sweatsuit crop tops for the ladies. Got a couple of shirts and, he got a bunch of things. He got everything. Whatever you go over there and see. And he got great, great clothing, great material. Whatever concept you want to put together, he can make it happen for you. He definitely can make it. And make sure you get over, if you got Instagram, go over to First Messiah. This is my man, First Messiah on Instagram. The letter 1, STMESSIAH. This is his clothing line called Saki International. And he specializes in photos. He draws from jackets, leathers, jeans. This right here is a jacket that he did for me. This is the front of the jacket he did for me. The front of the jacket he did for me. Very talented dude. I just told him to do what he wanted to do. But I asked him to do something to the back. This is the back of the jacket. And if y'all pay attention to what it says God was born in Brooklyn. It's a long story, but anytime y'all want to get into it, I definitely will. Super, I see you in the BUILDING. I see my man Big Hank McCoy up in here. I see you in here, Hank. I see you in here. Shout out to Big Hank McCoy up in the building. If y'all not subscribed, make sure y'all get over there to Hank McCoy, the founder of the content sector. Not the controversy, not the controversial, but the content sector. We got True Blue Super up in the building. You dig what I'm saying? And I got a good one for you. Yo, Super. Now, y'all remember, I was the first one. When Keefe Dee's home was raided, remember, I was the first one to say, check this out. Is Puff going to wind up being a confidential informant? The reason why I said that is because allegedly, Keefe Dee and a few of the people over in the West Coast, they said out of their mouth, not mine, they made a mistake when they killed Biggie Smalls. But they also said the person that paid for the assassination or the hit of Biggie Smalls, quote unquote, was from Harlem. That's a cold-blooded fact. You see what my man Super said? He said, Brother Dice, is one of the content creators in the urban segment who can spell. That's the cold-blooded fact, but you know I got to thank that. You know how I get praises to. All praises due to Allah, but my mother, Sharon McLeod, for those of y'all that's just coming in here, my mother always made sure I had me some fresh dictionaries for my birthday. She told me if I wanted to go outside, you got to give me a book report. She always told me to make sure my vocabulary, my articulation, and my spelling was very, very important because she said, baby, you're going to be judged because you're a man. You're going to be judged because you're a black man. And you will be ostracized because of your vocabulary. So I love her so much for doing that. Big Chris, I see you in the building. I see y'all popping up. He said, shout out to Big Dice, a man who is level-headed, who did not make assumptions about Brian without looking at things for himself. That's a fact. Shout out to Big Brian O'Shea, man. Tell them where they at, FTC. You now rocking with Team Guardian. We don't do that. We spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Number one, I'm from the melting pot of New York. And then I saw Brian a couple of times, like I told him on a couple of platforms, but I noticed they didn't receive him like I would want to be received if I go somewhere. Shout out to Paul and them over there at Pimp Unslaved. I dropped it in the chat, y'all. I'm gonna drop it again too, because when I came over there, it was nothing but love. It was nothing but love. It's in the chat again. I'm dropping it right now. It was nothing but love. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat that showed me nothing but love. They opened, yo, you want to hear some FTC? They accepted me with open arms. It ain't about no color when you're dealing with good people. We don't look at color. I look at energy and the respect people have for each other. Because number one, if anybody knows anything about the dark sector, we're the dark sector, they call it. I'm not a part of it. But make a long story short, there's nothing but humiliation, disrespecting, backdoor, just certain things that should not be brought, quote unquote, to the channel. But some people, you dig what I'm saying? Like, I can't do nothing but just pray for them, y'all. That's my way of getting through things. You know, prayer gets prayer. Anger begets anger. Peace begets peace. That's why I tell people, don't take it for a misunderstanding, or don't misconstrue the fact that I will grab somebody and slam them on their face. That's just not who I am. But I will defend myself, alhamdulillah. Like I said, shout out to Big Paul Wall and them over there at Pimp Unslaved. I had a great time over there. Great intellectual bill. Nobody over talking each other. Nobody saying, oh, he's black. Oh, he's black. He's going to be ignorant. Oh, God, can he talk? Should we let him on the platform? It was none of that. The minute I popped up in the building, he was like, yo, Big Dice, hit that link, man, and pull up. And the love that they showed over there, it actually is disappointing. Not on their behalf, on our behalf. It's in the chat right now. It's called Pimp Unslaved, Super. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Make sure y'all get over there and subscribe. I'm talking about Super, all jokes aside, bro. When I mean they over there doing it, great host. My man, I call him Paul Wall. He said, Dice, they might think he ain't racist. And Brian ain't racist. He's just a funny person. He's an antagonist. Now, if you say some goofy shit to Brian, he gonna say some goofy shit to you. Simple and plain. And he had me dying. Facts, Super. Go check it out. I'm telling you, Super, you can go over there and have a good time and have a great conversation. And you can go over there, and the minute you get in the chat, Super, they gonna give you the love that we give each other over here. You notice when we come over here, everybody say peace and how you doing and everything we do. They do the same thing over there, y'all. So it ain't about no color. It's about who you are. It's about your heart. It's about your integrity. It's about your morale. Just being a human fucking being. You dig what I'm saying? I got a great one for y'all tonight. I definitely got a great one for y'all tonight. Remember, Super, I was the one that started it back in the days about if Puff was going to be an informant. Number one, Puff is not even surface yet. Look at my man right there. Big Paul is in the building. I see you in the building, Paul. He in the building right there, y'all. I was just telling him how I had a great time over there with y'all, man. I'm going to drop the link and y'all can pull up. You dig what I'm saying? And get into this conversation because in my opinion, not everybody else's opinion, in my opinion, Puff is gone. Puff is gone. We're going to go over some couple of things tonight. I told y'all when y'all seen my other show about the night in 1997 when they had the big shootout when Shine was arrested and Puff was dating Jennifer Lopez. My friend's wife was shot in the face. She was shot in the face that night. Another one of my friends by the name of Julius, he was shot in his arm. I was supposed to be in that party that night, but I wasn't. Shout out to my son mom. She saved me for that one. Because if it wasn't for my son mother beefing about me going out that night, I would have been in that party and who knows? I might have been shot. I might have been killed. But look how God worked. Oh, my fault, my fault. I thought you was Paul. I thought you was Paul. He said he just got his name. My fault, but you still welcome over here. I know you came from. I appreciate y'all for showing up, man. I appreciate coming over here and getting some of this work. Because it ain't nothing but love. We spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Before I get this started, I want to do a quick poll. How many people, if you believe Puff Daddy is guilty of these allegations and these charges, I want to see the dice cubes. If you believe Puff Daddy is not guilty for these allegations, I want you to say not guilty. But if y'all are really feel in your heart that Puff Daddy is guilty of these allegations, uh-oh, we got my baby in the building. We got the sis. We got the sis. Everybody got snatched for their wrenches, so that's the only reason why your wrench was gone, girl. Because we had some crazy shit going over here at Hazel Eyes. Some people that blocked some people out that I didn't know. I know you ain't responsible for that. I just pressed the button back then, and everybody that was done, but you good. Don't even worry about it. Nothing but love over here. Nothing but love over here. Everybody in here saying they believe. Super said he can't say for sure. FTC Vice said he feels as though Puff guilty. Miss Jackie says, I feel as though he's guilty. Mimi said, I feel as though he's guilty. Shaq said, I don't know. We're hearing a lot of allegations, but no proof. Time will tell. I can give y'all some lyrics from a song that Puff did with Too Short. See, a lot of people didn't pay attention. You notice I noticed a lot of people just listen to the beats, but they don't pay attention to the exact words. For instance, I'm going to give you an example. Anybody heard the West Indian song by Beanie Man? Zim Zimmer, who got the keys to my Beamer? Anybody ever heard that song? Zim Zimmer, who got the keys to my Beamer? Anybody ever heard that song? Big Gary said, I'm an emoji illiterate, but I haven't looked enough into it to have a stance on it. He said, real recognize real. Bah! He said, Dice, don't go there. She said, yep, of course. Well, can anybody in here tell me the rest of that song? Miss Mimi said, of course she heard that song. So if y'all heard that song, why didn't y'all talk about Beanie Man talking about making love to a man in the song? That's a fact. I got you, Hazel. I got you. Why nobody didn't say, oh, what you mean no? Oh, let me explain something to the new people that's coming over here. We don't really do the disrespect and we don't have the trolls and stuff like that because the shooters over here clap. But what we do over here is when we do certain things that might be right or wrong or make us laugh, we do things. And I want y'all to understand because Super is the first person that's going to get timed out. We time out each other over here for 10 seconds. But it's all for love. I even time myself out. You may see me break away from the stage. I give myself 10 seconds over here. And shout out to Miss Mimi. You go, girl. How come see what? I'm going to time your ass out again, Super. You about to get timed out again. Your ass about to get timed out again. Because you making us look bad over here, Super. You team guardian. How come our guest came in tonight, Miss Mimi, and said, you heard what she said? Because a lot of people didn't hear, oh, na, 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 oh, na, 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 na. Zim Zimmer, who got the keys to my Beamer? Who am I? The girl dim lover? How could I make love to a fella in a rush? Pass me the keys to my truck. Y'all in here what Beanie said? He said, who am I? The girl's dim lover? How could I make love to a fella in a rush? Pass me the keys to my trust. Y'all sitting up in the video. If you buck up on the bucky, some Betty, rub up on the body and smell it fall up. The nigga was talking about two balls rubbing together. He says, Zim Zimmer, who got the keys to the Beamer? Who am I? You dig? No, I ain't got no damn. No, that part I was just joking about, but I ain't got the part about who am I? How can I make love to a fella in a rush? I ain't make no mistake about that. You heard Miss Mimi said it too. I ain't make no mistake about that. Zeke Black is in the building. We got the elder Zeke Black in the building, y'all. He's in here. He's in here. This that cloth talk. Word up. But if you listen to what Puff Daddy said on a song with him and Too Short, when he said, the world is filled with pimps and hoes. Let me tell you how this world really goes. Y'all ain't hear what he said on that song? Go get the Biggie Smalls album right now if you think I'm joking, and I'll let y'all go to it. What Puff Daddy said was, I'm going to tell you what good head'll do. Turn a freak like me into a bisexual. Hank said he ain't never listening to that song again. I swear to God, that's what he said. Hank. He said, who am I? The girls them love. He said, who am I? The girls them lover. How can I make love to a fella in a rush? Pass me the keys to my truck. Yeah. You bumped into one of them one of them 77 Corvettes. But when you listen to Puff Daddy said, I'm going to tell you with good head'll do. Oral sex. Puff said on a song with him and Too Shorts off the Biggie Smalls Life After Death album, he said, I am going to tell you what good head will do. Good head, oral sex, will turn a freak like him into a bisexual. Yeah, dang. Puff was telling y'all back then he was messing with that goddamn rocket fuel. But to each his own. I just don't respect the bigot. I don't respect the bigot. I don't like hypocritical people. If you're a gay man, a lesbian woman, LGBTQ+, I respect it. If you stand on your truth. Do I agree with it? No. But do I respect it? Yes, I do. Who am I to judge? I got that tattooed on my arm. Y'all see it? Only God can judge me. Only God can judge me. But we gonna get into this because I feel as though this man right here, I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. We gonna get into this today. We gonna get into this work tonight. This man right here is the devil. I don't care what nobody says, he's the devil. And you know what I was always told? Do not trust a man that always got shades on. Never trust a man that always has shades on. Puff have shades on in the summer. Puff have shades on in the winter. Puff have shades on in the... Anywhere he go, he could be in the bathroom. He got shades on. Take that, take that, take that. And I ain't trust him since he was talking about take that. Because what was he talking about taking? Y'all heard the new leaked audio, allegedly, of him and Meek Mills having sex. Now, can we say we believe that? Well, you know they got that AI going out right now, so that could be an AI duplication. Could be an AI duplication. It ain't sound like no duplication, but one question I want to know, is Puff getting everything he deserves because of these people right here? Miss Kim Porter, who was going to tell her all her life story about her and Puff and things that happened in the industry. Unfortunately, she passed away, allegedly, but then they said they feel as though she was killed because of the toxicology report, because they're talking about investigating. See, Puff done fucked up. All this stuff is getting opened back up. Top G, I see you in the building. All this is getting opened back up. But let me explain something to you. Did y'all forget that this man right here is from Jamaica? Lenny Lady, I see you in the building. Did y'all forget that this man right here is from Jamaica? Miss Jackie said he's hiding them reptilian eyes. I never even thought about that, Miss Jackie. And what you don't believe now, Super, and you better say the right thing because you will get 10 seconds again. You know I don't care. You know I'll do it. Oh, that's what he was. He said, you see how clear the audio was? You know how long ago that incident was back then? Which phone could record things so clearly and gave rumors. First of all, that wasn't no back in the days. That was recently. That was recently. That wasn't back in the days. Puff, we mean what phone? They got a bump. Niggas, you crazy. Uh-oh, you getting timed out again. It's time. It's time. You on that stuff. Okay, that's 10 seconds again. You know I'll do it. You know I'll do it. First of all, these phones, that's a new audio. What do you mean how long ago? You make it seem like this when Little House on the Prairie was out. Nigga, do you know? Yo, let me explain something to you. Excuse me for the, but then again, y'all know the word we say. Brother, do you know how long cell phones been out recording? First of all, you could take pictures and record back in the days with the Sprint phones. Miss Jackie said that audio was horrible to hear. Yes, it was. I don't care what nobody say. If that's not Meek and Puff, that's the AI. But I'm trying to tell you, that sound like Meek Mill saying, Puff, hold on. Okay, that's enough. Chill, Puff. And Puff going, argh. Sounded like he's some goddamn animal or something. Appreciate you, Hazel Eyes, on that super chat. She said, get into that content. Yo, Hazel, I told people something. I'm on my 33rd, 34th day, even though you know how I do with the content, Hazel. I told people that goofy shit that people got going on this shit, I'm not dealing with. Number one, it takes 21 days, y'all, to form a habit. 21 days to form a habit, whether it's good or bad. Whether it's good or bad, it takes 21 days to form a habit. And I ain't no dummy. I'm Sharon McLeod's son. And I got content for days. We could talk about the McDonald's and Burger King, who got the best burger. I could bring out content over that. We could talk about the sippy straw. You dig what I'm saying? We can talk about back in the days when they was jumping rope in the street. When girls used to take them extension cords and be out there when they ain't have no rope. Content is content. If you got a brain, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Miss Mimi said Puff always had them weird, empty fucking eyes. I ain't gonna front. The Cash App is at the, oh snap. Hold up. I didn't do the, my fault, y'all. That's the Cash App there, right there at the top, y'all. That's the Cash App right there at the top. $170 dice. $170 dice. And I appreciate y'all. Since y'all coming up in the building right now, shout out to my man CB for giving me these great intros, for this great background he gave me in the background, right? This great background he gave me in the background. But what I want y'all to look into is the way he spiced up this video. Let's go, y'all.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?
Shout it out to everybody in the building. I got a good one for y'all tonight. Super just said something that was real crazy. He said, every week somebody else is gay. If the elites want to destroy someone in their career, they're not going to put out any gay rumors in these times. It's too ineffective. Talk. He said, being gay in these times might serve to boost your career. And in fact, I almost gave you 10 seconds for that. You almost got a minute for that one. I almost gave you the minute timeout. Super, what the hell is going on with you, man? You smoking on that Dumbo tonight? But I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna give you a pass because you my man. You my brother from another mother. You almost got it. Gary said, I have a feeling Kate Middleton makes a full recovery and then promote the medicine that helped cure her. Miss Mimi said she agrees with Super. But since y'all said something like that, I want y'all to check out this first part of the segment. Let's go into what Chris Brown had to say. Because Chris Brown, he said that, matter of fact, I'm going to let him tell you what he had to say. Let's go.
And then the funniest part, like a lot of people don't know, Diddy turned me down.
See that look? That was because everyone knew it wasn't standard practice for Diddy to let people go so easily. How do I know this? Here's what someone with experience said.
They date these artists. They give them transformers, so you go, so they get high, they get intoxicated, and they have transvestites in that. Yo!
And then these are the rapper's own words.
This is for them underground motherfuckers that like it real dirty and like it hard. Pause. That was a crazy one. What am I doing?
I mean, here's what he did to his own girlfriend.
Real name is Sean Combs. The woman who was his girlfriend for years says she was actually a victim of plied with drugs and forced to have sex with multiple men.
In the world today, several people preach about giving others the benefit of the doubt and not dealing with those people based on what others have said about them. In most cases, I would agree with this point of view, but as with all things in life, there are always exceptions, and Diddy seems to be the one exception to this rule here. I say this because there is almost no other artiste who has been caught in several different kinds of accusations from so many people as Diddy has. At first, the stories were that he took advantage of any and everyone around him. Then it became that he allegedly attacked women in his life from time to time. These days, however, the stories about Diddy are more focused on his asexual preferences, and it seems Chris Brown might be the latest celebrity with a Diddy might be gay story. Naturally, Chris Brown isn't really the first.
Appreciate you, my man said, yo, Big Dice. I'm just showing some love. I appreciate you, my guy, for real. Come on over here and get some of this love. This is where the grown folks hang out, y'all. We don't do color. We do good hearts and good people over here. Let's go.
Person you think would be involved in a gay story, because besides the fact that he's repeatedly made the headlines for his involvement and arguable promiscuity
that's
with
my
women,
man Big
he's
Paul
also
in the building
pretty
right
hardcore.
there, y'all.
So he doesn't exactly fit the profile of who you'd expect to be caught up in Diddy's allegedly very gay web. But the truth is that these men's paths have crossed long before they both became some of the biggest names.
Good people, what's up? This is Jamal Anderson. You also know me as the
very gay web. But the truth is that these men's paths have crossed long before they both became some of the biggest names in the industry. Well, Diddy was at the time. First, there were the stories of Diddy having freak-offs. Then came the tales of the man hosting parties dedicated to different forms of hetero and homo acts, and all of these happened to have been happening when Chris Brown first crossed paths with him. Now, the singer and occasional breakdancer is telling his very own Diddy nightmare story. Sometime in June last year, right after Chris Brown dropped his highly anticipated album, Breezy, the singer from Virginia appeared on the show Drink Champs. He not only spilled the beans about his then-upcoming album, but also revealed some surprising stories about his early days in the music business, stories that have some unusual ties to the music mogul. The singer behind If P spoke about how he almost signed with Bad Boy, Diddy's record label. But in an unexpected twist of fate, Diddy turned him down. Of course, seeing as Breezy is easily one of the most successful singers from the last decade and more, you're probably wondering how he could have been turned down by anyone, let alone Diddy. Turns out the mogul and at the time, talent scout might have wanted inappropriate relations with Chris Brown. But it doesn't get incredibly messed up till you find out that Brown was actually only 12 years old then. I'ma keep it 100, so I was like 12 at this time. This was before I linked to Def Jam. It was me and one of my production manager's son named TJ. He's my brother to this day. Me and him were like a group, Brown explained. So when Chris mentioned that his group didn't have a name, the host of Drink Champs, Nor, joked, that's probably why he didn't sign you. Without spilling more details, Nor threw in, if you danced, he would have definitely signed you. But as expected, Diddy didn't go for it. That's his style. He only signs people who do what he wants. You instinctively think something like this is an isolated incident, but in truth, the whole music industry can be pretty messed up. Chris is just one of the many who got caught up in it, as the stories of Diddy's forceful allegations are almost endless. But what's worse is that Chris Brown isn't the only one on the list that was underaged, as Usher seemed to have faced a similar fate. A couple of months ago, Diddy and Usher were consistently trending on social media, and while for the most part that was tied to their music, it was also subtly tied to the Frosty Flakes incident. If you don't know what that is, let's just say it was a time in Usher's life when he was at 10, sharing a bed with an almost 30-year-old perverted Diddy.
First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna If we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even like. I don't want.
No one was really sure what Kevin Hart meant when he was talking about the bed myth with Diddy, but it appeared he knew where it ended up if you did as little as sat with Diddy on the bed. And while Diddy did try to make it sound normal, there isn't a.
Now, if y'all pay attention to this right here, if you pay attention to this right here, they made a joke about that. Kevin Hart made a joke about that. He was like, nah, I'm not going to sit on the bed. I'm not going to sit on the bed. He said, I'll stand up. He said, matter of fact, please get up, get away from the bed. I don't want to be associated with you in the bed. Usher Raymond's mother is also one of the people now that has came out with this lawsuit that is suing Usher Raymond. So, excuse me, Puff Daddy for grooming. For grooming. There's actually an alleged rumor that Puff Daddy had a sexual encounter with a young Usher Raymond to the fact where he had to be rushed to the hospital. Allegedly. Allegedly. If you pay attention to what Kevin Hart and him was getting ready to say, Puff Daddy, like he said, was 30 years old. Usher Raymond was 10, 11 years old. And then he bragged and boasted about them sharing a bed, eating cereal together. But the minute Michael Jackson, quote unquote, said that he wanted somebody to come through, they said Mike was a rapist. Appreciate you for the super chat, Hazel. Remember back in the days with the Michael Jackson allegations? And if y'all believe this or not, I'm going to say this. And it ain't because I believe Michael Jackson did not do nothing to that child. See, Mike been fucked up for a long time. If y'all fail to realize, Mike came up, all he was told to do was practice, sing, dance. Joe Jackson had them practicing, singing, dancing on tour. Practicing, singing, dancing. He didn't even let them have no friends. If anybody's familiar with Michael Jackson's catalog, he has a song that's called Ben. Ben. In the song, he says how Ben is his best friend in the world. Ben was a mouse. That was a pet mouse that they bought him. Ben was a pet mouse. See, a lot of these superstars, especially from the young age, they put on these roles where they don't even want them to be kids no more. So when Michael Jackson got a little older, remember the first thing he did is he made what, Never Never Land? Put an amusement park in his backyard, all type of exotic animals and stuff like that. Things that he couldn't do when he was younger. Go to the amusement park. Go to the zoo. Things that he wasn't allowed to do because it was all about money, money, money. When he got older, he said, fuck that, I'm putting this shit on my property. But did he ever mature? Did he ever mature? There was rumors that he may have been sexually assaulted. He was running around with a lot of people. Joan Collins. Allegedly, he was dating Elvis Presley's daughter. They got married. Certain things that he was exposed to. There's even time, shout out to Ziggy Black, he's in the building right now. There was even a time when Michael Jackson was right here in New York in one of the hottest clubs in New York around the cocaine era, the mescaline tab era. And they say he was in there rocking and rolling, fucking with that booger sugar, AKA cocaine, and he was a child. This is what they doing to these kids. But you know why I don't really appreciate Usher Raymond's mother? Because number one, you signed that baby over to him. You signed your child over to him. How much money did Puff give you? What did he do to convince you to give your child to him? To the ladies that's in the building right now, let me ask y'all something. Would y'all give y'all 10-year-old child over to anyone? Anyone? Much less a mogul like that? If my child is going, I'm going. And with the situation with Michael Jackson, the part that they did not tell until after the trial was every time that that young man came to the home and shared that room with Michael Jackson, his parents was with him, but in another room. So you mean to tell me if you take your child to the home of anyone, we're not going to talk about a celebrity. We're not going to talk about no Michael Jackson, no Usher Raymond, none of that. You take your house to anybody crib. All right, you take your child to someone's home and y'all spend the night. You mean to tell me the next morning, if your child is acting strange, you're not going to say what's wrong? So you think if your child was put in an uncompromising situation, you think your child would not tell you the next morning something happened? And they didn't have their son over there with Michael Jackson one weekend. They had numerous encounters where they came over there. Now, first of all, if he did so wrong, why did y'all keep bringing your child back? So you mean, all right, let's stop being biased. Say he did allegedly sexually assault the child. So you mean to tell me what was more important, the money you was receiving or your child's well-being? So let's get back to this situation with Usher Raymond. His mother drops him off to Puff Daddy because she tells him, I want you to make my son a star. With what cost? With what cost? 10, 11 years old. So that means you're going to take him out of school. Yeah, he's going to have the best tutors. Not the best tutors, probably, because of the money. You know, they're going to make sure that he's promoted, but he's not going to have a childhood. He's not going to have interaction with friends. He's not going to go to lunch. He's not going to be outside playing. Everything is to the studio, dance rehearsal, performing, the awards, studio rehearsal, dance rehearsal. Let's get into this work, y'all. You are now rocking with the best.
Single scenario in which it makes sense for an adult Diddy, who was always under the influence and already had gay accusations, to share a bed with a 10-year-old Usher.
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like that's how, back in the day.
Did y'all hear that? Did you hear what Puff Daddy said? Did y'all hear pay attention to what Puff Daddy says?
Accusations, to share a bed with a 10-year-old Usher.
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like that's.
You see how he caught himself? First of all, you see what I mean about this? This is why I'm trying to tell y'all I believe everything that's being said. That's why I believe everything that's being said. Because number one, if Puff Daddy didn't have no malicious intent, why would he say, hold on, pause? Pay attention, y'all. One more time.
Single scenario in which it makes sense for an adult Diddy, who was always under the influence and already had gay accusations, to share a bed with a 10-year-old Usher.
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes.
Speaking of Usher, that was only the beginning of what would become a series of inappropriate experiences with the mogul. Usher also admitted that he and Diddy went to S***Zool when the No Limit singer was 50.
Does anybody know what that mean right there? Does anybody know what this means right there? Shout out to my man Do Dirty. Does anybody know what this means? This color of his hair right here. That blonde hair, when you see them do that, that's a humiliation sacrifice, allegedly. That's a humiliation sacrifice for the elites, allegedly. Gary said, my reasoning is I don't see Michael Jackson being intimidating enough to keep a child quiet, if that makes sense. That's a fact, Gary. That's a fact, Gary. I don't believe Michael Jackson did anything. The only thing that Michael Jackson was guilty for was not having a childhood. Michael Jackson said he enjoyed having fun. He loved to see kids have a good time and play and be children because these are things that he was not allowed to do because he was in the entertainment business. And his father was very, very hard on all of them. I agree that I don't believe that I just believe the society, and they wanted a reason to target him. First of all, that man owned the copyrights. He owned the masters of the Beatles. Do you know how much money that is? The man owned the masters and had the copyrights to the Beatles. You know, Paul McCartney and all of them. You know, Elton John and all of them. You know that. Just like with Bill Cosby, when he went to try to buy CBS by himself and they looked at him and said, yo, who the fuck you think you is, bro? They said, yo, you can get CBS, but you can't buy that whole shit by yourself. Bill Cosby told him, nah, I got $350 million. They said, what? Who you think you is talking about you want to buy NBC? How about we get with some investors and some brokers and we go buy it together? Just like with the Rockefeller, with Jay-Z, when it comes to the Barclays. They make it seem, a lot of people think Jay-Z owns the Brooklyn Nets. No, he doesn't own the Brooklyn Nets. He owns a percentage of the Brooklyn Nets. Word up. He said, remember they said Michael Jackson was soft-spoken in front of the camera and he was completely different in private. I'm not saying he was guilty, though. I ain't never heard Mike raise his voice. Mike is so quiet. He's so polite. He'd be like, "Excuse me," when he putting hot sauce on the chicken sandwiches. I ain't messing with you tonight, y'all. Let's go.
That he and Diddy went to S** Zool when the No Limit singer was 15 years old, which is illegal under United States law and the laws of most other countries for that matter.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? Puffy.
There have even been claims that Diddy may have exposed Usher to addictions and alcohol during his teenage years, although Usher didn't expressly admit to having a bad experience in his teenage years with Diddy. However, the singer did say he would never send his children to anything remotely resembling Diddy's flavor camp.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp? Hell no.
Bad as the whole thing already looked, there is also the part of Diddy saying he used to get up together with Usher and have a fight with the singer. What's more, he also said they would continue to fight anytime over Frosty Flakes, even though he
Cade is alive. You took my son?
We gotta get that baby. This year, I got serious about my taxes. I met with
It be that ooh-wee sometimes. Pardon me, y'all. Y'all know it be that ooh-wee sometimes. First person laugh at me. Y'all getting timed out. You know it be that ooh-wee. My fault. I made a mistake. I got to leave this shit alone. I got to leave this stuff alone, y'all. But it ain't gonna be tonight. My fault, y'all. My fault. That's a fact. I got 10 seconds for that. Let's go.
experiences with the mogul. Usher also admitted that he and Diddy went to S** Zool when the No Limit singer was 15 years old, which is illegal under United States law and the laws of most other countries for that matter.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? Puffy.
There have even been claims that Diddy may have exposed Usher to addictions and alcohol during his teenage years, although Usher didn't expressly admit to having a bad experience in his teenage years with Diddy. However, the singer did say he would never send his children to anything remotely resembling Diddy's flavor camp.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no. Did y'all notice he said hell no and looked up so good? Hell no, I wouldn't send my child around Puffy. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't you think about that, y'all? That right there should have let you know something was funny. If you went through Puff, and he helped you propel your career, if Puff was a good person or such a great mogul or role model, why wouldn't you allow your child to be around him? Because quote unquote, you knew what he did to you. Smash that like button, y'all, if y'all with the grown folks. Let's go.
Bad as the whole thing already looked, there is also the part of Diddy saying he used to get up together with Usher and have a fight with the singer. What's more, he also said they would continue to fight anytime over Frosty Flakes, even though is in his 40s. Like Usher, almost everyone that was around Diddy seemed to have felt the rapper's wrath in the worst possible way, and this was also the story of his then famed assistant, Farnsworth Bentley. It all started with an umbrella. In the early 2000s, Derek Watkins famously became known as Farnsworth Bentley, a play on the character Bootney Lee Farnsworth from the 1975 film Let's Do It Again, after assuming the role of an umbrella-toting full-time butler for multi-million-dollar producer Sean Diddy Combs. For a point of reference, it happened somewhere between the rapper going by Puff Daddy.
Yo, y'all want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny? And Hank, you're 100% right. He said too much gumbo. You are 100% right. You getting timed out for that. Didn't I tell you about coming over here telling my business? Didn't I tell you about coming over here telling my business when we got company over here? Didn't I tell you about that? That's 10 seconds. You know I'll do it. For real, that's a front. That's that straight up gumbo. That's that straight up gumbo. That I ain't go front. That's that straight up gumbo, y'all. Pardon me. That's that gumbo.
Daddy and P Diddy. The addition of Bentley to Diddy's entourage and his new.
Did y'all pay attention to that, y'all? All jokes aside. Did y'all remember when Bentley Farnsworth used to be with Puff and he was walking around every day holding an umbrella? That ain't seem strange to y'all? I ain't gonna put the bucket hat on tonight. You know that bucket hat. You know, Super, if I put that bucket hat on, you know I do it. You know what? Since y'all want the bucket hat, this is what we gonna do. Since y'all want the bucket hat, let's go.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when it kind of minds. I'm cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy, when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes like was that smart? Now they uploading their clothes on the Poshmark. Switch, baby, careful with this. I mean, it's bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like, high from who? Bout to put your car on skates, you think you slide through. I help build my niggas, this ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means, I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas, I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from, what y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
Yo, my man Gary said, I don't think I've taken in this much pop culture in a couple of years. Can't say I miss it. Shout it out for Gary for popping up in the building, y'all. James P, I see you in the building. The Nile is in the building, y'all, and I got on that bucket. You know what rhymes with duck it? This bucket. But that wasn't strange to y'all, a grown-ass man, y'all? Seriously. That wasn't strange to y'all, a grown-ass man? A grown-ass man walking around following another grown-ass man holding an umbrella? I don't care if it's raining or not. He was out there with an umbrella when it wasn't raining, when it was raining, when it was sunny, when it was hot, when it was cold. He was walking around with the umbrella. That just don't make no sense to me. How you feel about that? You did? That seemed kind of, because let me explain something to you. I don't trust it. I'm from Brooklyn. We carry our own umbrellas. Let's get back into this word.
Found persona was a result of the rapper needing to clean up his act after being acquitted of gun possession and bribery charges stemming from a nightclub shootout in 1999, per The Fader. Along with the rebranding came a new wardrobe and the then 27-year-old Atlanta native as a proper usher for Diddy into the world of being a sophisticated gentleman. It didn't take long for the former personal valet and assistant to grow his own brand and build a name for himself in television, music, and even literature. While Bentley may have put down the umbrella for greater pursuits, he definitely made his mark on pop culture and made himself a hip-hop topic of conversation for years to come. However, people who seem to have insider information on Diddy's life have revealed that Bentley was far from any regular assistant, but was more like Diddy's concubine.
What do you think Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley's real relationship was?
Concubine. Concubine because at the time of Bentley's employment under Diddy, the rapper had been in a couple of relationships, one of which was with Kim Porter and another with Cassandra Ventura. Speaking of which, Ventura, who many know as Cassie, recently broke the internet after she named the mogul an assaulter.
A lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs accuses the music performer and executive of physical abuse and
Per the news, the producer and music mogul, who has been one of the most famous names in hip-hop for decades, was sued in federal court by Cassie 2 weeks ago, an R&B singer once signed to his label, who accused Diddy of R and repeated physical A over about a decade. In the suit filed in federal district court in Manhattan, Cassie, who had long been Diddy's romantic partner, said that not long after she met him in 2005 when she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have S with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. In 2018, the suit says, near the end of their relationship, Diddy forced his way into her home and R-ed her. After years in silence and darkness, Ms. Ventura said in a statement, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. Turns out that the dark incidents Cassie had described involving other alleged to have been organized by Bentley, who, when Diddy didn't get his way with Cassie, bore the brunt of it, if you know what I mean. Outside of Cassie, there are also tales that Diddy had attacked the late Kim Porter after she allegedly caught him in a compromising position with Bentley while they were on a trip to St. Tropez. From the looks of things, only Bentley can truly tell the world if Diddy was really a monster to him and other people around when he worked under him. But from the looks of things from the outside, everyone can see Diddy's true color already. Even the fans agree with this perspective, with one user writing, "While we're on the subject of Diddy, I know Farnsworth Bentley knows and may experience some things. Obviously, the roof is caving in and the walls are closing in on Diddy, so how long do you think it will take till he's officially exposed?" That's it for this video. Goodbye.
Now see that? I'm gonna break this down. For everybody that's new to the channel, it's always methods to my madness. I don't just get up here and freestyle. I actually put my shows together and try to make things a little more interesting and fun at the same time while we're going through it. So I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I went back first before we get to right now. See, I don't want to talk about what's going on right now. Right now, everybody's talking about the raids. He's on the run. He let his children get arrested. I want to talk about what I've been talking about, what people wasn't paying attention to, that people was overlooking while he thought he was out here being invincible. Remember, I told y'all 3 months ago, I said Puff about to go to jail. Go look at the catalog. Matter of fact, the name of the show is, if y'all think I'm joking, I'm going to tell you the name of the show. I'm going to tell you the name of the show right now. The name of the show is, Has Puff Daddy decided to cooperate with the feds? Has Puff Daddy decided to cooperate? Has he decided to cooperate with the feds? That was, oh shit, I'm bugging. My fault, y'all. That's why it didn't come up. See that right there? That was July 28th. Pay attention, y'all. I did that July 28th, 2023. That's when Keefe Dee crib got raided. When they allegedly went up in Keefe Dee crib before he went to jail. Remember what I told you, FTC? Look how long ago. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That was 8 months ago I was putting y'all up on that game and they wasn't paying attention to it. So go back there and check the show out now. Because if you really was around a few things, educational purposes only, certain things are obvious. If you have a third artist in tune, if you was here, you was there, you can understand how to get here or there. To the people that understand that, Don DeMarco. I wanted to tell you, now that's just 8 months ago. I talked about what he said on the Too Short album. I could tell you what good-headed dude turned a freak like him into a bisexual. He's telling you if he's getting oral sex, he'll take oral sex from a man or a woman. The better the sex, the better the oral sex is, the better the sex is. He's telling you, he'll tell you what good sex will do, turn a freak like Puff Daddy into a bisexual. He's been saying this subliminally for years. For years. For years. Ain't that something? I started off the show with an open poetry. And it was called Who is Chad? And remember what it said? It said that was part 1. I'm going to give y'all a little break and let y'all listen to part 2 on Who is Chad. You did? Let's get into this work. Smash that like button.
I want the world to see how such a charming dude could get hurt by someone as harmful as you. I don't mind staying in her life as just a dad, but I'm divorcing your deceptive ass, because it's just the fact that what else did you lie about? Like, this is a mess, it's bad. Actually, baby, come back in the room. Now tell her who's her dad. She said, sweetheart, your father's name is Chad. Finally hearing it, I wanted to smack. Ooh, I'm so glad I was raised better than that. But I still feel like I needed to attack, punch the hole in the wall. They both react. Ring, 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 ring. Her phone says Chad. I picked up so fast. Hello? He hangs up. Will I call back? Hello? He hangs up. Will I call back? Hello? He said, yo, my bad. I must have had the wrong number. I got so mad. I said, so y'all both just liars? Like, that's so sad. I already know about you, Chad. You can have her, but you can't have my little girl. To me, she means the entire world. He said, now hold on, dude. That's my daughter, too. And there's plenty of things that I taught her, too. I said, wait, you sound familiar. Where you from? The mom interrupts. Okay, that's enough. I said, no, you let him talk. He said, then her phone died. I can't make this up. But I was invested. I was all in. I said, nah, give me his number. I'm going to call him. She said, you really think this is a good time for all this? You don't see your daughter in the corner bawling? I said, but I just got to know. She said, yes, but what's that going to do? Before you knew anything, everything was perfect, right? You're always looking just to find and ruin something that's just fine. I said, are you really trying to justify that you just be lying? This toxic witch was trying to botch and twist my thoughts with this. But it was working. What she said made lots of sense. If I never hopped the fence and tried to get the info that she was not my kid, I never would have been in a spot this sick. Is it better to not know if someone's playing me? Y'all know how that song go. I don't wanna know if you're playing me, keep it on the low. What he meant was, as long as she's not publicly embarrassing me, why should it matter to me what she's doing behind those closed doors casually? I mean, if she's married to me, wait, am I really thinking this, baby there? Like, am I really believing this, baby there? Like, I feel, babe, I just wish this was a dream I'm in. Who is Chad? She said, since you asked, I met Chad at a different party. And I was drunk, so I remember hardly. But when he said he was Chad, I didn't realize Mr. Marley. I said, Mr. Marley, you've been sleeping with our daughter's teacher on me? She said, I'm so freaking sorry. I wasn't used to seeing him outside of school, and when I met you, I didn't know what to do, but me and him are fake, me and you are true. We can have a baby right now. What position would you like to choose? I said, delete the nonsense. So all those parent-teacher conferences you wanted to go alone to, you had reasons behind it. The daughter screams, can y'all please just stop it? I feel stabbed in my heart, and now I'm bleeding droplets. How could y'all be so toxic? I don't need a dad, and I don't need a mommy. I want to be adopted. I'm running away. I need to leave. It's an easy option. I said, daughter, calm down. I'm sorry we had a drastic fight. She said, daughter, you're not my daddy, right? I mean, that's what you told me out of spite, but you know what? You were right. I don't want to be here anymore. Then I seen her flee out the door. I go, you see what you did? You misleaded and mistreated such an innocent kid. She said, I don't like where your energy is. Instead of arguing, how about we go see where she went? So we rushed to the stairs. As we're going down, someone coming up stairs. She asked, Chad, what are you doing here? I go, nah, how does he know where we live? So he been in his crib? She said, no, he's a teacher. They have addresses for kids. Chad said, well, well, well. I said, go to hell, hell, hell. He said, now, before we fight this morning, I think it's time that I recite my side of the story. He said, the prettiest girl at the party. I walk up to her, we dance, talk for hours, I love everything she said. Somehow after we ended up in the bed, 9 months later, out popped the head. I said, wait a second, her face turned reddish. I said, sounds real familiar, you care to explain it? She said, that's the second part.
The streets ain't never loved me. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah.
The streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah. You know the streets ain't never love us.
Back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
I don't know if y'all remember, well, y'all do remember when they did the December the 27th, 1999, New Year's, you know, biggest party in the world. Puff, Jennifer Lopez, Jamal Barrows, a.k.a. Sean Poe, go to a party. I told y'all a friend of mine's by the name of Julius got shot in his arm. Friend of mine's wife, my man Barry, his wife got shot in the face. Ironically, after this situation when Puff and them leave the club, after fleeing the scene, Puff decided to separate defense counsels. He had a lawyer for himself, and he let Shine get another lawyer. He didn't make the same lawyer. He didn't retain them for both of them. He retained a better lawyer for himself and Mrs. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez was not charged with anything. Sean Puffy was investigated. He was charged, but all of a sudden, mysteriously, miraculously, let's say miraculously, all that was thrown out. Mr. Sean Poe, quote unquote, was arrested and did time. And then after he did his time, he was deported back to his country. And now he's the prime minister of his country, which is Belize. Inshallah, look how the law works. Now he is the prime minister. God don't make no mistakes. If he'd have never been at that party that night, he would have never had to pull out firearms trying to defend himself because, rest in peace, a dude by the name of Scar had threw some money in Puff's face. Because Puff, they said, had an arrogance to him. They said Puff would walk around in the clubs like he was the one, like, but there's some niggas in the street that got some money too, y'all. All this started over egos. I got more money than you. I'm more powerful than you. So what, you got rap money? I got coke money. So what, you getting checks by these big record labels and these executives and these companies, and you getting these sponsors and stuff like that? We don't give a fuck about that shit. We getting our shit from the mud, hand to hand. You know, them 022s, them 031s, them trays, them 2 for 5s. You know, $100, you know, 12 for a buck. The illusion, the getting away from the stick-up kids, the police, the stacking the money, the going back and forth simultaneously, making sure that that work is on that block clockwork. Fuck the fact that all you're doing is going to somebody and they're programming some music out of a keyboard, and then you're going to hip to the hop, the hip. Fuck that shit, nigga. So what? Your money don't match to this money. Your money is easy. Our money is hard. That's the, you know, analogy in the mind state of a hustler in the street. Overlooking the fact, the money that has to be paid for a studio session. Overlooking the fact, the money that has to be paid to an engineer to work that keyboard. Overlooking the fact, the time and the hard work that a person has to do to even learn how to do that thing, like working an MP3 board, as opposed to a big widescreen 34, 36 keyboards, 36 lane instrument, putting together beats, perfect recording, high pitching note. That's all hard work too. See, it's two sides to the coin. It's heads and there's tails. Yeah, some of us may have been in the street eluding certain things, but then some people that went to school and bust their ass to become them scientists, to become them electricians, to become the engineers, to become the school teachers, the firemen. You know, that's hard work too. The psychologists, something that's overlooked in everybody's neighborhood. The psychologists, the mental health. So many people walking around, just like on YouTube, with undiagnosed mental illnesses because people too good, especially black people. Oh, y'all too good for that. Shout out to my Caucasian brothers and sisters. That's what helped me about it. You notice they say white people aren't afraid or aren't ashamed to spend money to go to therapy. So why are black people so ashamed of it? Why? You scared to talk to somebody what's going wrong? Number one, there's a therapist and then there's a psychiatrist. It's two different things. I've talked about this so many times on my shows. A therapist cannot do what? Cannot administrate any type of medication. That's what a psychologist can do. A therapist is a counselor, someone that will talk to you, that you have to open up and tell them certain things, he or she, things that has bothered you, things that have troubled you, especially from the past, from the future to now to the present. Excuse me, from the past, from the present. That's what they for. Now, if they can't get it clear with you, Big Lee, I see you in the building. For life. If they can't get it clear with you, you know what they're going to do? They're going to suggest or what? Recommend that you go to a psychologist. A psychologist does what? Now they can administer your ass and lock you up in a goddamn hospital if they feel as though something's really wrong with you. And they can also give you certain things on a straight up note, like antidepressants, things that make you calm down. Certain people have mental disorders such as anxiety attacks. Some people are suffering from depression. Some people are suffering from schizophrenia. Every day in the hood. It's serial killers everywhere you go. In Brooklyn, it's 2 or 3 serial killers on every block. But I want y'all to hear what my man Barry White had to say about this when she told people, because Shine was convicted for this. See, this is the part that really makes me mad, because in 1999, and after the trial and everything, Shine, Jamal Barrows, was convicted of shooting this woman, and then he was extradited to Belize, which is now a blessing in disguise, because now he's the prime minister of Belize, and he's doing everything that he wanted to do as a child politically for his country. But the sad part about it is, I think they owe Shine some money. Number one, he was in jail for what, 8.5 years, 9 years? And if the lady said, well, matter of fact, I'm just going to tell you what my man Barry White said. She said Shine didn't shoot her. Let's get into what she had to say. Is y'all ready for this? Let's go.
She joins us now, sharing her story. Natanya, thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine what you've been through since 1999, and then all the emotions that must be coming up over the last couple of days. What was your reaction, Natanya, when you saw these massive raids at P. Diddy's 2 homes?
First and foremost, thank you for having me. It was very emotional. In short, it was extremely emotional because it was basically a mark 25 years, a quarter of a century since this occurred. And I've had to relive this over and over again, intermittently in that time. So when I saw it, it was very cathartic because I finally felt like justice would be done. Justice would be mine and belong to all of his victims.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night.
Pay attention to this, y'all. Why was Shine convicted of shooting her if she said, quote unquote, Sean Combs shot her? See, I'm going to talk to y'all about what's been going on with this devil. Rest in peace to my man Big. Y'all know I went to school with him. I've been said this nigga was a devil. I'm going to tell y'all why I said Puff was a devil. First of all, I've lost so many friends in the hood. Unfortunately, the gun violence. I lost a couple of friends to being hit by a car. One of my mans, shout out to Vincent, he was hit by the police off a stolen motorcycle. They ran him off a stolen motorcycle. Killed him instantly. Rest in peace to my man Darnell DeBerry. Labor Day 1991. 17 years old. Shot in the back of his head with a .357, and the impact of him taking that bullet knocked the hinges off my man James' door. And anytime I lost somebody, I ain't really want to be laughing and joking with nobody. I wanted revenge, especially when it came to the fact of murder. Forgive me, Alhamdulillah, Bismillah. But you mean to tell me after Biggie Smalls was killed, Puff Daddy just comes out with a song called Missing You? Like 2 or 3 days later, that shit is performed. It's him, Sting, Faith Evans. He even went and got them kids from the children's choir in Harlem. And he jumping around on the stage talking this bullshit. Faith Evans talking about she's missing you. But the same night Biggie Smalls was shot in Las Vegas, pay attention to this. You can check all these facts. The same night he was shot in Las Vegas, when Faith Evans was at the hospital, the same nigga that was there at the hospital that was supposed to be down with Big and them, that consoled him, that's the nigga she married. So your baby father's in the hospital dying from gunshot wounds, and the nigga you was in the hospital with that night, you decided to marry him. That nigga manipulated her. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna say that. I guess her love for him was so strong, she took the whole fact of erasing, tattooing over BIGGIE, over big name, on her chest. But let's get back to what I was saying. If this young lady right here, my man Barry White said that, quote unquote, Shine is the one that shot, Puff Daddy is the one that shot her, excuse me. Why was Shine convicted of it? And if Puff know he shot this woman, why he ain't take his charge like a man, y'all? Let's go.
right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, you know, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. I mean, things were very, very different in 1999. I mean, did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Well, I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to my children was of the utmost importance to me. Being whole and being able to mother them, that was, you know, primary on my list. I didn't have any reason to believe that to think that someone would not believe me. But as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening.
So, as I mentioned, Diddy has denied being the one who pulled the trigger. But this is interesting, Tanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, AKA J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. I mean, what did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid, but I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still bear I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me. I have a mantra, having my say. There was a time a few years ago where I had a talk radio show called Having My Say. And that's very important to me. I believe everyone is entitled to have their say. Far too often we don't hear people or listen. And so I just wanted to get it out of me because it was like an audible, deep breath that I needed to take. And I made the TikTok video not expecting it to go viral. Went to pick up my daughter, came back home, and she's like, and I literally told her, I'm like, well, you're probably gonna see it tomorrow. I made a video on TikTok. Maybe 100 people will see it. By the time we got home, she said, Mommy, it was 70,000 people. And I could not believe it. But it was time. It was time for me to speak. I'd stayed quiet for 25 years. It was my time to speak.
Yeah, we don't know yet what's going to happen with the P. Diddy situation. Obviously, again, he hasn't been arrested. There's clearly a very big federal investigation happening now. But I'm thinking back to other cases, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. When they started to dig, all sorts of stuff came to the surface. They reopened old investigations. Would you like to see the investigation involving you getting shot at that club be reopened?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whoa.
The irony is there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened. My shooting,
That's the part I wanted y'all to hear. That's the part I wanted y'all to hear. Did anybody catch what she just said? Did anybody catch what she just said? Anybody catch what she just said? Did anybody catch what she just said? And y'all 100% right. Stevie J is a piece of shit. Number one, you're his daughter's, you're Tiana's godfather. You did four beats on the first album and did like 3 beats on the second album. That's your, and then niggas is weird. Shine got convicted for something he didn't even do. Ain't that some shit, Clarice? Hazel Eyes said, she said, what the fuck? First of all, did y'all catch that? You see what he said? Lee said, yo, she want that shit brought back open and she want Jennifer Lopez charged because the men, they got searched. Y'all know what it was back in the days when we went to them house parties. They couldn't grab chicks like that. We gave them burners to allegedly educational purposes only. The guns we gave to our baby mothers, our girlfriends, or our cool ass homegirls. You dig what I'm saying? When we get in the party, what we do? We get up on the wall, we start dancing on a reggae song, we grinding, take the gun out, put it on my waist. She said, quote unquote, Jennifer Lopez bought that pistol in there, man. So how was Shine convicted? See, me, just being from Utica Avenue, this is just the Brooklyn shit in me. Tell him, Hazel. Tell him, Clarice. Tell him, Lee. Number one, the minute you tell me we don't got the same lawyer, I'm going to ask you why you switching up on me, boy. When you told me you're going to get me a lawyer too, but I'm not going to share the same counsel of you, you crazy. That don't even make no sense to me, man. You see what Clarice said? They going to jail. But check this out. If they open the case right now, she's going to testify that it had to be Jennifer Lopez that bought that firearm in there. Jennifer Lopez is scared to death right now. Come on, FTC. You know I'm going to hold it down for you, boy. We here. I ain't switching up on the content. This is where you said the grown folks hang out. Shout out to everybody that's doing what they doing. But we over here getting to this content like a good basketball game with the Knicks. And I'm in the center. I'm Patrick Ewing. You understand what I'm saying to you? Don DeMarco. Hazel said, yo, Dice, these niggas is supposed to bend. She said, Dice, it's supposed to be locked in. Niggas not, and they ain't loyal. They ain't loyal. I ain't never, you want to hear something? That's sad. But then again, it's not sad because Hazel Eyes, if y'all don't know who Hazel Eyes is, she official. She not from that real era. Everybody talking that real shit. FTC, I've been saying this from day one. Don't call me real. The new real is fake. I'm official. I'm official. I'm not real. I'm official. That real shit, the new real is fake, y'all. I cannot fuck with none of my man girls. I don't care if he was just fucking with her. Definitely ain't gonna fuck with none of my man baby mothers. Definitely ain't gonna fuck with my man wife. Is you crazy? These niggas that they don't care about none of that shit, man. I don't even, let me tell you something. Number one, I don't play like that, y'all. See, I'm from a different era, y'all. If y'all agree with me, put them dice cubes up. See, if I call your baby moms, that means something happened to him. That means my nigga locked up and he caught me to tell you to come get some money. Or my nigga went through some shit. He might be in a hospital. Or unfortunately, he might not be here no more physically. But niggas ain't supposed to be calling niggas wives and baby mothers and girlfriends and all that shit. That shit is real abnormal behavior, y'all. I don't like the abnormal behavior. I'm not an abnormal thinking type of person. You dig? Niggas is weirdos, man. And ladies, on some real shit, your homegirl should not be calling your man unless, quote unquote, something happened to you. And that's your A1 day one and she your A alike. Bitches is weird too, respectfully. I'm not talking about the great women. I'm talking about the bitches. They weird. They weird. You see, you already know. You already know to the day we die, boy. You already know. We don't even play like that. That shit is treason right there, man. It's not, let me tell you something. It's nothing none of my man's baby mothers could ever do for me except say hello or peace. I don't give a fuck if y'all went together 7,000 years. I don't give a fuck if y'all was together in public school. I don't care if you was in kindergarten in Miss Fox class in PS167. I don't play like that. Because to me, that's some real disrespectful and heartbreaking shit. Like me, this is the way I feel. Out of all the women in the world, you supposed to be my man. You got to fuck with something that I used to care about or probably have a great relationship with as friends. How do you think I'm going to look at you as my friend dealing with somebody I was with? Why you picked who I was? See, when people do shit like that to you, they trying to hurt you. Word. Uh-oh, she said July. Yo, you want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny, Hazel Eyes? Shout out to King Crego. Matter of fact, I'm going to holler at FTC. I'm going to holler at Dog Soldier about this. We were supposed to be doing a mancation this summer. We talking about going to Jamaica. That's a fact. You know, I got, y'all already know. Yo, Hazel, Clarice, you already know. I have enough man them in yard waiting for a man to come check. Enough of our friends got dipped. You already know that. We gonna get that together, y'all. That's a fact. That's a fact, Super. That's a fact. Shout out to Crego. That's a fact. Word up, man. Just have some. You see what Clarice said? I just put that picture up earlier. Yo, Clarice, you missed it when I said this earlier. I said, is this the curse of Kim Porter? Or is this I said this earlier, y'all. Is this the curse of this woman? I said, or is it the curse of Biggie Smalls? Y'all know he from Yard. Y'all know Big from Jamaica. Y'all know that, right? You know Miss Wallace ain't playing, right? You know Miss Wallace missed her son, right? That nigga Puff wouldn't even take his charge. I'm not letting my man go to jail for some shit I did. I ain't doing that. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I ain't letting my man go to jail for some shit I did. I can't do that. And telling, I ain't telling on nobody, man. I ain't letting my man go to jail for some shit I did, and I ain't telling on nobody. I'm on some shit. If you my man and we get jammed up in some shit, and I get jammed up and you know it's yours, you dig, you supposed to stand on that, because if it was me, vice versa, I'ma stand on it. But I ain't doing no fucking telling. I'm from Utica Avenue. You dig what I'm saying? But this situation right here, I think Julius, yo, you know it, Lee. Julius got shot in the arm that night. This is Barry's wife. I don't know if they still together, but that was his wife back then. First of all, I think Julius was owed some more money. Word up. That's a cold-blooded fact. Let's get into this work, y'all.
Ironically, the night I went into the club, I had a comb in my pocketbook called a rat tail comb. People in the beauty industry or people that use that type of comb would be all too familiar. It's just a comb. It can't do anything to harm anyone. And I had the very security officer who lied during the trial, Sharice, I forget her last name, but she literally took it from me and kind of pushed me like, you can't take this in. This is a weapon. To let other people in your gun. If someone had combed me 24 years ago, I'd be fine. You wouldn't even know my name. But having been shot by someone that was allowed to come into the gun when I couldn't bring in a comb, I would absolutely unequivocally like the case reopened. It needs to be reopened. And the saddest part for me is, had people taken what I said more seriously and listened more intently, 24 years worth of people probably would not have had to suffer.
Yeah, and I ask you this respectfully, just because I think people at home might be wondering, and I've never been shot, I can't imagine what that's like, but you know, in the chaos of that moment, and it's a club and there's people all around, like, how can you be sure that it was actually P. Diddy?
Because I watched I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting. It was just male machismo and bravado at first. A lot of pushing and shoving, raised voices, you know, hands. But then I saw them reach in their waist and draw from their hip. And I knew. I instantly turned to my friends and told them, be careful, watch out. And when I turned back, I know, and I've said over and over, I've heard the voice of God said, you are about to be hit. Calm down. And as I said no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns and I felt an impact to my face instantly.
Wow.
There's no doubt in my mind who shot him.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to join.
Sounds kind of adamant to me. She said she know exactly who shot her. You see what she said? We stand on our own shit, y'all. We got to. That's all we got, y'all. Word up. And she took that shit and she's still here. That's just God, man. Word up. That's a cold-blooded fact. I think that she should be able to sue the club owner, but then again, that was 25 years ago. I forgot about that shit, y'all. So that means they're gonna have to go back to 25 years to the owner, and then he or she should still be brought up on charges, because that is your motherfucking responsibility to security. That is your responsibility. If you have a motherfucking club, it is your responsibility to have the right security. Ain't no she can't bring in a comb because that's a weapon, but you mean to tell me there are firearms inside of a club? Doesn't make no sense. You heard what she said, y'all. Rest in peace to Scar. I told y'all. That's what I told him earlier, Hazel. I said, for real, like Scar told that nigga, we don't give a fuck about that money you talking about, you hip-hop ass nigga. Rest in peace to Scar, man. There's some niggas in the street that play too, but it's from each coin. We got heads and we got tails. We from the 2 for 5, the 3 for 5, the 32 to the 1,000. Puffin them went from going to school, engineering class, marketing, college, knowing how to work that engineer. So it's both times of actual hard work. We just got a little arrogance about our work because of the hard work and bread and tape. We gotta ditch the police, well, allegedly, educational purposes. We had to ditch the police, the stick-up kids. The police and the stick-up kids. That's hard right there. Niggas find out you get in the bag and you ain't gonna defend that bag. They coming for that bag. But y'all ain't even think about this. Did y'all hear about when Puff's crib was getting raided? See, everybody be talking that shit when they be coming up here. See, a lot of people be coming up here. I be noticing. I be paying attention. Respect to everybody. Like I told them. That's why I do these shows, because I want them to follow the leader. It ain't me. It's Shallah. A lot of people do shows but can't hold the content for it. They can't hold the content for it. They don't do the due diligence to the actual show. See, nobody spoke about this part right here. That's why I gave people a couple of days to talk about it. I'm like, damn, ain't nobody gonna talk about it. Then I heard my mom say, you talk about it, dummy. I said, you right, Mom, you right. You know, I be talking to my mom. She said, you talk about it. They ain't talking about it. You my son. They're never gonna break it down like that. Like I said, from the 3.5 to the 1,000 grams, you dig? This the part y'all not talking about. They got him on sex trafficking charges. The fucked up part about it is a lot of people don't even know this. Check this out. The homes that they raided was in his son's name. Was in his kid's name. So check this out. If they found drugs or anything, because you know they looking for drugs too. Did y'all know that? See, you know what Puff fucked up, y'all, and I said this on the other show. You know what Puff fucked up? Just educational purposes only. Not advocating any violence or promoting any violence. Number one, when he copped out to Cassie in 2 days and gave her that money, she asked for 33 million. He gave her 50 million. So he gave her 33 on the 17. 17 on the 33, tax-free. He said, yo, take the 33 and take the 17, and we ain't gonna talk about this no more. Cool. That's where he fucked up. That's where he fucked up, y'all. That's where he fucked up. Number one, if Cassie, and I don't have to say allegedly, if Cassie was suing him for drugging her, sexually assaulting her, for beating her, for making her have sex with men and women in front of her, in front of him, and he said, I'm going to give you that money, he fucked up. Like if you ever saw the movie Third World Cop, he said, you know, that's where y'all fuck up. And he was like, what? He said, you know, birds that fly too high never reach the sky. He said, only if they don't have the right flying altitude. You see what Hazel said? He fumbled the bag. He humbled it. First of all, respectfully, I'm not advocating any violence. I'm just giving y'all some content and some conversation right quick. Number one, if he's this big, powerful figure that everybody's scared, they said he been knocking motherfuckers off. Remember the first 5 that stayed together, out of the 5, it was 5 people. Heavy D, rest in peace. Andre Harrell, rest in peace. Kim Porter, rest in peace. Allegedly, somebody tried to poison and kill Albie Shore. He was fucked up for about 6 or 7 months. Yo, Katie the Kid, I appreciate that, man. He said, keep up the good work and the haters. He said, go to the bus stop. You're not welcome in this building, you heard? And that's a fact, beloved. Now, out of 5 people that came together for a record label, how come only one of them is nothing happened to him? That was Puff Daddy. Albie Shore is terrified of it. Y'all keep forgetting the fact that who is the person that just said Puff Daddy poisoned him? Do y'all pay attention? Didn't y'all remember when Jamie Foxx just said, quote unquote, that nigga Puff just tried to kill him? Y'all forgot about that? Remember Jamie Foxx was just in a rehabilitation hospital trying to get himself back together? He couldn't even walk for months. Jamie said the nigga tried to kill him and he wanted him investigated. He said, Jamie, and pay attention to why Jamie Foxx said that Puff Daddy wanted him dead, because Jamie Foxx started doing skits and jokes about that situation with him and Usher Raymond sitting up in a bed, and he's 30 years old and Usher is 10 years old and they're eating cereal together and spending the night together. Jamie Foxx then made a few skits over that shit, and he told the sheriff in Los Angeles that Sean Combs is trying to kill him. You see what she said? Clarice said he gave her the money and it just destroyed him. The reason why it destroyed him, pay attention to this, y'all. The reason why it destroyed him is admission of guilt. It's just like, quote unquote, the situation like China Brim said. Shout out to the 050. It's just like the situation with Star Brim. I don't have no dog in that fight. I'm just giving you a situation. Shout out to 050 and Zeke Black, China Brim. Every morning they going live. They're going live tomorrow morning too. Make sure y'all go subscribe to 050 and hit that bell notification for you know when they going live. They going somewhere else different. China's doing numbers over there, y'all. The niggas doing 18,000, 20,000 plus views overnight. And I'm proud of them. That's right, I'm proud of them. You know why? Because y'all turned them into this savage on YouTube. Y'all turned China Brim into this savage on YouTube, and then that savage theatrical that he was doing just for YouTube, a bunch of people tried to emulate. Emulation is always the what? The beginning of destruction. Especially if you don't do it honorably from the heart. Instead of them asking them for the blueprint, they tried to grab, steal, and run. And they planted seeds off of stolen seeds. They put stolen seeds in a foundation. Stolen seeds in a foundation. And then the foundation, if it's not secure, it's going to crumble. Go check out the head honcho and Zeke Black in the mornings. They going crazy. You'll see me. I'll be over there. Allah wake me up. I'll be over there doing what I do. Back to what I was saying about Puff. Did y'all know when I mysteriously hit both of them cribs in New York, in Miami and in Los Angeles? Do you know it was another current of events that happened simultaneously at the same time? Can anybody tell me that? Lee said, do you think Heavy D has something to do with Diddy? I think Diddy has something to do with Heavy D. If that's what you're trying to say, yeah. Remember, I told you it was Andre Harrell, rest in peace. Heavy D, rest in peace. Kim Porter, rest in peace. Albie Shore tried to kill him. And the last but not least that was in that 5 venture was Sean Puffy Daddy. Facts. The situation with Baltimore, I heard about that too, Super. I'm doing something tomorrow on that because I got a crazy analogy on that one. But I did a show talking about it. If you look at the show I did with the Hood News, I did, what was it, yesterday? I broke it down, but now I told y'all I was going to do some more investigating. When it first happened, I did the show on it. You did? Shalom. Assalamu alaikum, Ak. He said, Divine Order said, Shalom. Big Dice Chronicles in the chat. I'm here from Chicago. Peace to you, brother. I appreciate you for pulling out. Blackout TV, I see you in the building. He said, all of the distractions, same as the bridge. I did a show on it yesterday, and he's 100% right. All of these are distractions for the things that's really going on. Tell you the truth, the biggest thing y'all need to pay attention to is the aliens. I'm telling you that right now. Fair disclaimer. Pay attention to the motherfucking skies. That's one jewel I'm going to give you. The rest, I'm going to let you take care of yourself. But like they said, like he said, Blackout said, this is all a distraction. This is all a distraction because, number one, they been knew about this. But they also said in the year, remember I said this before we came into this year. Remember FTC, I said every 80 years, it's been scientifically proven. Every 80 years, something miraculous happens in the world. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She said, I'm a woman. I'm sorry. Peace, sis. I'm sorry. Every 80 years, something might... Look at the Epstein. The list came out with all these celebrities. Now, after the situation with Puff Daddy, they're talking about LL Cool J. But he already said that in his book. If anybody read LL Cool J book, he already talked about dealing with men. They talk about a lot of people, Jay-Z, Beyonce. But like I said about the bridge, shout out to Wax AB. He did a show. He did a show tonight pertaining to the bridge situation and the actual point where the ship crashed into a particular point on that bridge where everything just collapsed. Like, it's just an angle that I don't believe in coincidence, y'all. That's an excuse for a sucker. He did an excellent show on it tonight. When the lights went off, because this is the story now. Pay attention. They saying that the power went off on the boat. So when you watch the video, you notice that the lights go off. Then the lights go back on, and then the boat starts to sway and turn. They go right into one of the poles. Like that pole right there, that divider right there. Directly into that pole right there. Now, the reason why I say, in my opinion, this is something very, very dangerous. Because the only people that would know what point of impact would make a topple like that is architects, people that was involved or know particularly about that particular blueprint to that bridge, one of the biggest ports on the East Coast. I did a show on it yesterday, but it was so sad because when I watched the video, you see cars literally in seconds plunging into the water. Rest in peace to everybody that lost their life. And I told y'all, if you watched the show I did yesterday, I said, shit is really fucked up. Go pay attention to the show where I said, the news reporter said, at this particular moment, we don't have no tragedies or fatalities. Remember that? Remember that, FTC? We don't have no... First of all, how you don't have no tragedies or no fatalities if you've seen about 10 to 12 cars go plunging into that water? Now, this morning when we wake up, they said they're going to discontinue the search. Now, see that? I got to check into that right there. Miss Divine Order Sis said, did you know that the alleged captain of the ship is from Ukraine? That's deep right there. Because tomorrow I'm going to do a hood news with my point of views at 12 o'clock also. So I'm going to look into what she just said because I don't believe in coincidence. And then also, shout out to Yak, Chicago's finest. If y'all not subscribed to Yak and Chicago's finest, get over there and subscribe to Yak and Chicago's finest. He's in Baltimore, and he actually pulled up yesterday for the show. And what he said to me was, a lot of people heard an explosion. A lot of people heard an explosion before the impact. Because if you watch the video, It's crazy. But tomorrow when I do it, I'm going to get into it like a Park Buick. You dig? But did y'all know that when Puff Daddy's homes was getting raided, what else happened? Can somebody else tell me what was happening simultaneously? That's right. Because the two of the people that passed away, she's right. She said everybody that died that's fucked up is not from America, because rest in peace, one of the people was from El Salvador and one of the people that I seen was from the Honduras. Rest in peace to them, man. And they were working. They were working on the bridge. That's not even the people in the count of people, like they said earlier, that they found 2 more bodies. Ms. Divine Order said the alleged Ukrainian captain makes $10,200 a month. That it appears that he just applied for an advancement, but may not have had enough training. Or he might have been on that goddamn booger sugar. He might have been fucking with that booger sugar. He might have been on that goddamn Null. He could have been on that heroin. He could have been on that Ron O'Neal. Shit, he could have been smoking that ooh-wee. Nah, he couldn't have been smoking no ooh-wee. Blackout said, the captain doesn't matter. Where was the port captain? That's right. They were supposed to bring them home. That's a fact. That's the part I'm going to get into tomorrow, because there's supposed to be a ship. There's supposed to be a ship that's supposed to direct them. I'm telling y'all, I said this on my show. If you check it out yesterday on the Hood News with my views, I said, all jokes aside, it's just my opinion. No such thing as a bad opinion over here. That seems like terrorism 101. Ms. Divine Order said it's a sacrifice. They allegedly held day of so-called Ishtar. Dang, that's peace. They bring these people here for a reason. But you know what? It's evilness. It's the evilness that's transferred throughout people. It's not the people we got to focus on. It's the evilness, because it's a bunch of great people coming also. Because we have to think about this. We got to pay attention to that. The only thing that I have a prejudice of is ignorance. That's it. I don't have a prejudice of anybody's choice of sexuality. The only time that I would have a prejudice against that is if you was using it to disrespect kids or disrespect the elderly that can't take care of themselves, because there's some real sadistic motherfuckers in this world. But what you feel to do as a human being and somebody else complies with as 2 human beings, 3 human beings, you know, it's all type of relationships now, 3 and 4 and 5 and 30 people in one relationship staying in the goddamn house. If that's what y'all into, that's what y'all into. It's not right from what I know. But who am I? But who am I? She said, I don't mean no harm. You have some good points. I'm a U.S. veteran. At a certain point, I trained to run ships. Something jumping off. Dude hit that direct key support beam. No, I told you. See what she said? Pay attention. You see what I said right here? I said that beam right there that's right there in the middle. I said, quote unquote, ironically, the ship lights went off. And then simultaneously the lights came back on, and then the lights went off right directly in the center beam. Ironically, somewhat of a replica of this in the background, if you can see the point head of it. And it hits that where bang, that falls in, this snaps in, that whole structure right there, this whole structure in the middle right here, snaps down behind my head. This right here snaps down, which is going to topple this up, which is going to disrupt that. It's crazy. It's crazy. And Clarice, you're right. My fault, Clarice, you're 100% right. And this is election year. That's a fact. He said, Super said, I seen a woman who worked in the morgue have sex with a dead. I'm telling you, shut the hell up, Super. Your ass is getting 10. See, now you're getting 10 seconds. See, I got to give you 10 seconds. You got to give you 10 seconds for that. You got to get 10 seconds. You know I'll do it. You know I'll do it. You're a glutton for pain tonight. You a glutton for pain tonight, but you know I do it. Blackout said, the border is wild right now. We about to be invaded from the inside. Damn. 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 We normally have all KM types of generators, backup generators, and another backup generator. They also didn't have, that's a fact. They also didn't have any friendly lights on. Shaq Gravy said it's scary right now. These times out here is getting real weird, y'all. Necrophilia is real. Unfortunately. I'm so glad I'm not ignorant, y'all. And shout out to the grown people that come over here with their conversations and I am so glad I am not stupid. Shout out to Sharon McLeod and giving me all of them dictionaries that I tell y'all about. I don't complain about it. It's just my mother was just on some, yo, you're not going to be stupid. She said, you are not going to be, she said, a smart person can play dumb, but a dumb person can't play smart, my son. Now, you good, Hollywood. But let me tell you what happened also. When Diddy's cribs was getting hit simultaneously, matter of fact, ain't nobody else talked about this. Remember where y'all heard it first. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button, you dig? Check what happened when Diddy's cribs was getting, check this out, pay attention. When Diddy's houses was getting raided, check what else happened.
Diddy's alleged drug mule was arrested during, home raids. Put up the picture full mass. Look at that. Diddy got little buddy caught up in this mess. All right, according to arrest records obtained by Rolling Stone, 25-year-old Brendan Paul, amateur music producer and ex-Syracuse University CBB player, is accused in a recent lawsuit of being Sean Combs' drug mule and was arrested on Monday on cocaine and marijuana possession charges. Recent reporting states the 6-foot individual has since been bailed out of jail. According to the arrest affidavit, Paul was taken into custody by Miami-Dade police. This took place Monday afternoon. This was at the airport. Police were alongside Homeland Security. Remember, they have this HSI sting they're doing. When the first arrest was made and the family member of Paul's confirmed the arrest, Paul's attorney said in a statement to Rolling Stone, quote, "We do not plan on trying this case in the media. All issues will be dealt with in court." All right. So at the same time, Homeland Security agents and local law enforcement raided Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles, marking the onset of the federal sex trafficking probe. Following numerous.
Let's get to this work. If y'all pay attention, when they was raiding his cribs, they was catching that nigga coming off the plane with that raw. Clarice said, Dice, what the hell is pink cocaine? That's that Ron O'Neal. That's that Don DeMarco. And it's not pink. Just like I didn't see, well, allegedly. I done allegedly seen blue cocaine. See, when it's together, the mist is so strong on it. It's like a fluorescent color. It'll throw off a color. The crystals is so beautiful. That's that scale. God knows. Excuse me. For the things that people have done, allegedly, educational purposes only. When it comes to that scale, the times will prevail. You dig what I'm saying? But when Puff's cribs was getting raided, they caught him coming back with that work. They caught old my man right here coming back with that work. So they already know what he gonna do. He telling. Everything about him tells me he's telling. He's gonna tell. Tell, T-E-L-L, T-E-L-L-L. He telling right now. She said, did you hear the story of a lady who had a one-night stand with the dude who worked at the hospital? She said she had sex with Duke. Shortly after, she had some type of vagina discomfort and went to the medical. Doctor took samples, sent it to the next doctor. Come to find out, she has some type of worms in her vagina. God damn. Holy smokes, Batman. Don DeMarco. He said the people from the Caucasus Mountain as well, too. No offense, laughing my ass off. Clarice said he already told. That's a fact, Shat. Sometimes, let me tell you something. It could be a mist that come off. I done seen blue coke and all that. The shit, when it's locked together, it look like it's blue. That shit look like it's powder blue. She said she had some type of worms associated with diseased people. Holy smokes, man. See, that's what you get, Super. That probably was the chick that was fucking the nigga and got pregnant. That slept with the dead nigga and got pregnant. That's what Super probably was talking about, Divine Order. Let's get back into this work.
Civil lawsuits against the Bad Boy Records exec. Rolling Stone and other outlets note it's still not clear if the raids were connected to the allegations in the civil lawsuits. Rolling Stone notes it's also unclear if Paul's arrest is connected to the wider investigation into Combs or where he was headed to the airport. At the airport, per NBC News, Combs was confirmed to be in Florida at the time of those raids. There's some background notes. So as we covered on Monday, officials seized Combs' phones before he was scheduled to leave for a Caribbean trip. That's called evidence, all right? And per video footage obtained by TMZ, Combs could be seen pacing around outside the airport. Miami police told Rolling Stone they had no record of Combs being arrested by their department. All right, that's all they provided. Arresting officers claimed Paul had, quote, the contraband inside his personal travel bags. And the suspect, cocaine, was located and tested. Paul was taken to Turner Gifford Night Correctional Center in Miami. He was being held on two separate $2,500 bonds for two charges: cocaine possession and possession of a controlled substance. Now, I'm going to say this, even though we don't have any information to confirm it yet, circumstantial. If you have a $2,500 bond and you got cocaine, either you have personal use cocaine, so that means they cannot get you with an intent to distribute, or you snitching. And I don't think there has been enough time to coordinate a state's witness.
First of all, he out of his mind. You can tell he ain't been in the streets. You heard what he said? He said, if you got a $2,500 bail and you supposedly got caught with a brick or something of some coke, check what he said. He said, I don't think that, he said, it's either one or two things. He said, one of the things is snitching. He said, but he don't think it's that much time, that fast. See, this is what you call somebody that's naive to the street. And shout out to him for that. Can't make no fun. That's a good thing. But unfortunately, certain things is just self-explanatory. This is just as plain as a fat red pig. He said they went, first of all, to this cool gentleman right here. If they were simultaneously raiding both of his homes in Miami and Las Vegas and simultaneously arresting him coming off a flight with cocaine, this is part of a federal investigation. Homeland Security. What do you mean, my man, talking about it's too fast to snitch? He was snitching on the way to the motherfucking precinct. On the way to the precinct, he was telling. On the way to the precinct, he was telling.
Against somebody. So per the lawsuit filed by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones against Combs, all right? So this is kind of your genesis, official record. Lil Rod Jones, which Paul was recently named in the lawsuit, Jones accused Paul of being Combs' mule, allegedly acquiring and distributing Mr. Combs' drugs and guns. Per Rolling Stone, a person close to the situation confirmed that Paul's mugshot was the same man named in Jones' complaint, okay? Now, he already knows he's been named in a lawsuit. Well, what is...
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend an...
It's not a small deal. knows he's been named in a lawsuit. Well, what is a lawsuit? A lawsuit is a sworn statement. Somebody is swearing and attesting that these things happened. Okay? It's not a small deal. It's a big deal, especially if the allegations are criminal in nature. All right, so Jones' lawsuit was the latest to accuse Combs of sexual assault alongside harassment and not compensating him for work on the Grammy-nominated The Love album. Jones claims he witnessed Paul acquire and distribute drugs to Combs and his associates. Quote, members of the enterprise and their associates.
Did y'all catch that right there? My man right here, check him out. Check him out right here. My man right there. He told the Fed, I want to press charges. Press charges for what? He said that nigga was sexually assaulting me and he ain't paid me for that last album he just did. What album? The Love album, nigga. That's when he was driving around New York, you know, with the Bentley dropping everything with that young girl Miami, because she's going to turn on him too. She's telling. She's going to tell. She's going to tell, simple and plain. She's going to tell. There's nothing to talk about. But he's saying now that he know Puff Daddy is on the run, he feel a little more secure now, because now that he know Homeland Security, that's a higher anarchy of the feds in conjunction with agencies that form together, a federal SWAT unit and a task force that form together. He feels as though if he goes in right now, they're going to give him some type of safety, some type of protection. He said the nigga Puff was literally taking advantage of him sexually and was not paying him for his work. He said dudes be scared to come forward about becoming victims until a bag is involved. And that's a fact. I be thinking dudes is really just gay and they be afraid, just my opinion. They're afraid that their names is going to come out in these new sex allegations and scams. So before their name is presented to the world with the sex allegations of scams about them being who they are, which are gay people, they say, you know what? I was forced to do it because I want to be a rapper. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because you notice now everybody's talking about what they've been through and everybody's, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me. And I'm not saying it and I'm not joking. He's an animal, allegedly, until he's proven guilty. I believe it. I believe this is the curse of Biggie Smalls and Kim Porter and Tupac Shakur and Black Rob and Craig Mack. He done shitted on some real people, man. Heavy D. Andre Harrell. You know Miss Wallace from Yard, you know. But this dude right here, a grown man, said that Puff, check this out, Puff was sexually assaulting him. That's right. This is a curse of all the victims because there's so much more. You remember what they were saying back in the days when he was doing that Make the Band, when he tried to get the dude E-Ness to walk the motherfucking juniors for a cheesecake. E-Ness told that nigga, what? And then E-Ness said on his documentary, he called his big homie, and his big homie said, whatever you got to do to get us out, get yourself out of that situation. He said, if you got to walk to New Zealand, you better walk to New Zealand. But E-Ness, he got away from them. And a lot of the people, just like the girls from that van. I forgot the young lady's name. She was like, yo, Puff been taking advantage of them. He's owed them hundreds and thousands of dollars. Look what the lock said. He just gave them back their publishing. All these years, you would not give them back their publishing. So that's why Black Rob died the way he died. But this dude right here said he didn't even get paid his money from the album, the Love album, the album he just dropped. This ain't no album from back in the days. This is right now. Let's get into this work.
Now, he already knows he's been named in a lawsuit. What is a lawsuit? A lawsuit is a sworn statement. Somebody is swearing and attesting that these things happened. Okay? It's not a small deal. It's a big deal, especially if the allegations are criminal in nature. All right, so Jones' lawsuit was the latest to accuse Combs of sexual assault alongside harassment and not compensating him for work on the Grammy-nominated The Love album. Jones claims he witnessed Paul acquire and distribute drugs to Combs and his associates. Quote, members of the enterprise and their associates procured, transported, and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms, you name it. And obviously they did this via carry-on luggage, the lawsuit claims. Jones claims that he personally witnessed Paul transport or intend to transport illegal substances and in his bag or baggage while traveling between Los Angeles, Miami, Virginia, the Caribbean, and London. This was on 3 occasions. He cites December 2022, April 2023, November 2023. And the photos supplied in this lawsuit, Paul is seen holding up what appears to be prescription pills, a bottle, and a black pouch sitting on his lap. Jones claims the bag was
Percocets
filled with ecstasy, cocaine, and everything else. As mentioned in prior reporting. The lawsuit. So you got Cuba Gooding Jr. Was also accused of sexual assault by Jones. A version of the lawsuit amended as of Monday now lists Gooding Jr. as a...
Did y'all hear that, y'all? Cuba Gooding Jr., the nigga from radio. Cuba Gooding, the nigga from radio, y'all. Cuba, the nigga that played the nigga with down, Cuba. They got Cuba too, y'all. They got Cuba too.
Defendant. As a defendant. The lawsuit stated Jones believed Combs was grooming him and was going to pass him off to his friends when he introduced Jones to Gooding Jr.
Jamil, I see you in the building. Salute.
That Cuba got to know Mr. Jones better. The complaint included this screenshot from a video, the video of the alleged incident where the complaint says Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back, and it gets quite graphic. It was R&B singer Cassie's bombshell 35-page complaint against Combs November 16th that set this whole thing off. Sometimes people feel safe in numbers. This was the quickest settlement I've ever seen in my natural life. Less than 1 day, everything settled.
Back to what I was saying. That's what I wanted y'all to hear. She said she wanted 33 million. He gave her 50 million the next day. I'm gonna give you 33 on the 17, 17 on a 33, 50, half of 100. I don't want to hear you talking about none of this shit no more. Cool. She didn't even think she was gonna get the 33. Think about it. She thought she was gonna get like 10. 10, maybe 15. She didn't even think. She got 50. Pay attention. Like I said earlier, I'm not advocating any type of violence, but if Diddy was supposed to be this sinister gangster and this really cold-blooded murdering street nigga, like they proclaiming him to be, number one, I would have told I'm not giving you nothing, we going to trial. Educational purposes only, if that's who he is. And then I'm going to have the lawyers string this trial along for about 3 to 4 years. And before them 3 or 4 years go, something going to happen if everybody else mysteriously died or disappeared that went against Diddy or went to talk about Diddy. I guess Cassie would have just been, quote unquote, another person that, fair YouTube disclaimer, would have died. If we talking about some gangster shit, right? We ain't talking about a person with a sane mind because he's an evil, sadistic motherfucker. We know that. Look what he's doing to people. He's raping men. He's drugging people. He's date raping people. And the reason why I'm saying it adamantly is because everything that she charged him with, everything that she was suing him with, he said, yo, he used to beat me. He used to make me sleep with men. He used to make me sleep with women. He used to record it. That's what they're looking for, them recordings. That's sex trafficking. She said, when we used to go to clubs, he used to beat me and beat me all the way from the club home. If you take some marijuana or some cocaine from a club to your house and the police pull you over, pay attention to where I'm going with this, and they find them drugs, you're going to have a sex trafficking charge. Whether it's a possession or not, it's going to still fall into a possession, but it's going to go down as as a drug trafficking charge. Now, if you get into a fight with somebody of his magnitude and his power, and he puts him in the back of a car, and they're saying that he's fighting all the way till he get home. She's telling people, she's getting screaming, hollering, I don't want to go with you, leave me alone, shut up, get in the motherfucking car. That's human sex trafficking, because she said they will fight all the way till she get home. Then he would strip her down butt naked, and he would continuously rape her and make her have sex with other men. He made her do it because he paid that money. You see what Shaq said? Rest in peace to Black Rob, Craig Mack, and Biggie. Number one, if he didn't do it, he should have went to trial. His truth would have been protected by God. But he knew he was guilty of that shit. He gave her the 33 on the 17. The 17 plus 33. That's 50 if you count it up with me. You see the video that he said, you see what Super said, but as far as the abuse, I believe a lot of it. That's a fact. You see the video that was on YouTube when he had her making fun of her, screaming at her, stomping on her, and telling her to get from under the towel. Why is she acting like a baby? Super said that girl wanted to be famous and was willing to do what it took. I'm not saying that he didn't abuse her, but she walked into that knowing what she had to do. I disagree. I beg to disagree. And I ain't even going to give you 10 seconds. I'm just begging to disagree. You know why? Because number one, just like Jennifer Lopez said, just like the young lady that's from Indonesia that's actually suing him now also said, just like Young Miami said, any woman that came around Puff Daddy said that he is actually a charming man that can make any woman, especially a young woman, infatuated with him because of his popularity, his fame, and he's a mogul. All of them said the same thing as far as him being charming with the gifts, the expensive, lavish trips, the VIP, everything, walking in and doing this, the Louis Vuitton, this, the little dogs, the bags, the private jets and all that shit. But then they said it's a real demonic side to that nigga. Nah, she can sing. I like her. I like her sing. I don't think she doesn't have no talent. I think, tell you the truth, I don't think she doesn't have, that girl can sing. But I do believe, this is just my opinion, no such thing as a bad opinion. I think she was manipulated by the fame, and that made her just like some other people with shit. That happens with, if that's the case, we're going to blame some of the chicks in the hood that dated us allegedly if we was out in the street getting money, because, you know, sometimes they overlook the fact that we can go to jail for the rest of our life. They overlook the fact that we can get killed. They overlook the fact that we might just never come back home when we walk out that door. So it's the same thing. We can't be biased about that. Let's get into this work.
Okay? Unheard of. Wisely. This is one of those stories where, now, first of all, let's just keep it 100. We have always heard of stories about Puff Daddy, his parties, etc. So that's not a secret. Whatever consenting adults do, I'm okay with it. The part I have a problem with is—
You already said whatever consenting adults are okay with. I agree. I have no problems. Me too. But pay attention to what he said.
Non-consenting adults and the non-consenting young people who are technically adults but still very immature in mental processing and thinking. So now you have a flood, including people who are associates with Diddy. It seems like they're serious. What say you?
Yeah, I think the allegations are certainly serious, because in this gentleman's lawsuit, he alleges that not only were they doing recreational drugs, which, let's be honest, Dr. Richie, anybody who knows or has been around anything music industry related, these people do recreational drugs, including weed, ecstasy, cocaine, you name it, and they do prescription drugs recreationally all the time. This is not a secret. This isn't a revelation. The allegations that there were women who were 16 and 17 years old given drugs unwittingly, I think, to me, that's the most serious of the allegations, that one, these women were sex workers as underage people, and two, that they were drugged unwittingly. To me, that seems to be the most serious accusations. Now, I've become somebody who's a bit more skeptical when the feds do bring cases against celebrities. This idea that, you fly in willing sex workers from a foreign country, now you're a sex trafficker. I find it hard to square that. that circle. But if people are drugged and younger people are coerced into performing sex acts on adults, those are serious offenses.
Yeah.
As far as this gentleman, I hope, I hope that none of these things happen to him. And if they did, I hope he gets some restitution. But, the drug dealer, carrying cocaine that give him $2,500 bond. I'm with you. It seems like he probably had a few punk grams on him, and they were like, all right, we can let this guy go. If that, right, exactly. And so the recreational drugs part of it is like salacious, but it doesn't surprise me. The stuff where younger people, again, in this lawsuit, he is alleging that younger women were around and were coerced into sex work, aka trafficked. That's quite serious. And I think if that's actually true and can be proven, these people should be prosecuted.
You heard what he said? Young girls that was coerced to go home with him, sex trafficking.
We can let this guy go. If that, right, exactly. And so the recreational drugs part of it is like salacious, but it doesn't surprise me. The stuff where younger people, again, in this lawsuit, he is alleging that younger women were around and were coerced into sex work, aka trafficked. That's quite serious. And I think if that's actually true and can be proven, these people should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, well, one thing.
You did? You did? Like they said, if Cassie was running around in them clubs, that's why they grabbed her ass up. They say, yo, come here, doodle head. Fair disclaimer. Come here, doodle head. What did I do? I heard you was going out there getting them girls. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I'm telling. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls, man. Rest in peace to Black Rob. Rest in peace to Craig Mack. Rest in peace to Kim Carter, man. Rest in peace to all the people that was unfortunately affected, man. Shout out to Miss Wallace, man. Shout out to Viola Wallace. Everybody in here say shout out to Biggie Mother, man. She said from day one, she did not trust that man. Just like I told y'all. Right after Big was killed, you sitting up on stage talking about, I'm missing you every step that I take. Every move that I make. I'm missing you. Shut the fuck up. That shit was staged. Ain't nobody that just lost their man. Especially to a horrific gunfire. On another side of the town. Ain't nobody gonna be in no studio producing no fucking music. It's not gonna be mastered like that. Even if you in the studio, you might try to attempt saying you're gonna go to the studio and try to work. You ain't gonna tell me you're gonna have no mastered studio equipment. So you mean to tell me, unfortunately, Big loses his life, and then you tell Faith Evan, I have an idea to put Sting on a song with us. I have another idea to put the boys chapter, the Harlem choir on the song, and then Faith, since you're his son's mother, since CJ is your child, I want you to be on the project also. Get the fuck out of here. I think this is one of the best verdicts that could have ever happened. I told y'all this. You see, it was July when I did that. Go check it out. Is Puff gonna finally decide to cooperate with the feds? Because he knew Keefe Dee had some things to say. Keefe Dee said it. He said, yeah, they made a mistake. He said, California may have been responsible for the death of Biggie Smalls. His words. But then he also said the person that made us do it was from fucking Harlem. The one that paid for the kill came from Harlem. So answer this question right now, y'all, of sensible thinking adults. Who in New York, let's go, who in Harlem, besides Sean Puffy Combs, my opinion, educational purposes only, fair disclaimer, who besides him would have a benefit of Biggie Smalls' death after just recording the Life After Death double album? You got a hell of a point there too, Super. He said Mace. Man, I'm about to put your ass in timeout for the third time. No, I ain't. Putting you going in timeout. God damn it. Ain't no damn Mace. Oh, now you're going to talk about you ain't hear no whole situation. That's why you got 10 seconds. See? See? That's why if we was ever on Family Feud, I couldn't fuck with you. I got to have you in the crowd. I can't have you up there because you're going to jump your hand too fast. The nigga going to say a question. What goes up? And you just going to hit the shit. And the next thing you know, you're going to be, oh, shit, I should have waited, Dice. Oh, shit, Dice. God damn it. Like, I can see the shit right now. Steve Harvey sitting up there saying, yo, tell me what has a red bam. Super talking about a fire truck. Steve Harvey look at Super and go, let me finish the question. What has a red polka dot tie on at the circus? A clown. Number one answer. Ding, 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 ding. Because Super jumped the gun. Yo, Dex, what up, boy? See that? He done said Rudolph. He talking about Rudolph. Clarice, you see why I be wanting to put this nigga in timeout every time he come over here? Yo, Clarice, I'm talking to you right now. You know why I put this nigga in? You know why he averaged 3 or 4 timeouts? He averaged 30 seconds. This is why he averaged 30 seconds. He talking about Rudolph. But I fuck with him though. I ain't gonna front. I fuck with him. You see, he said when I put the hat on, you heard what Super said earlier. Don't put the hat on, son. He said, yo, Dice, when he put that bucket hat on, it's like the, what's the name of that movie back in the days, y'all? When the guy wore the guy hat? What was it? It wasn't Willie Dynamite. Remember it was the dark-skinned dude from Cooley High? He put the hat on. You know what I'm saying? And the guy that wore the hat, you know what I'm saying, he got killed back in the days. I forgot the name of the movie, man. Hell is the name of that movie? It's an old school movie from the 70s, man. And the dude, he went to a spot and they sat down and he got hypnotized. He got hypnotized and that shit turned him. An old spirit jumped on him. It was a scene where he had walked home with a woman and they was having sex and she said, oh my God, what's going on? He said, what's wrong with you? She said, that's my man. You better hurry up and get dressed and leave. That nigga was like, I ain't leaving, bitch. That's how they talked in the movies in the 70s back in the days. You know, that black Afrocentric era. She was like, my man is coming. You better get out of here. He's going to hurt you. She said, nigga said she ain't going to hurt nothing. That nigga just lit up a cigarette. And her man walked in the crib. That nigga cut that nigga like 17 times. Hit that nigga with that straight razor, man. Nah, it's not Cotton Comes to Harlem. It's another movie, man. The guy that, all right, I'm gonna tell you who starred in it. The guy that starred in Cooley High that played Raj. He starred in the movie. He starred in the movie. And it was about him and his girlfriend was a nurse. What is the name of that movie, y'all? Matter of fact, watch this. See this? Because it's going to be on my head and I got to pull it up. I got to pull it up. See what I mean? I got to pull it up. The actors of Cooley High. See? Hold on. Let me see. No, his name is Joseph Carter Wilson. All right, so I got to tell you right now, hold on. Joseph Carter Wilson. Joseph Carter Wilson movies. I'm gonna tell y'all the name of the movie right now. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all right now. Oh man. What's the name of this? Movies and TV shows. Damn, son, I can't know the name of the movie, man. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. Monkey Hustle, Coolie High. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one, y'all. That's the wrong name. That's the wrong name. That's the wrong name. That's the wrong name. I got the wrong name. Corin Rogers. Excuse me. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Corin Rogers. Movies. See, because it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't figure it out. For real, because it's gonna really drive me crazy, man. See, that shit gonna fuck my high up. I ain't fucking with it. I guess I'll tell y'all tomorrow. That shit had me going crazy. Nah, you ain't on no time, Clarice. We good tonight. Word up. Damn, what the hell is the name? I'm gonna tell y'all tomorrow when y'all tune in. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, man. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Let me do a poll right quick. To the people that's in the building, let me ask y'all something. From the show and the presentation that I gave y'all today, from the past, stemming from the Shine incident, from the wild allegations in the song, like he said, I could tell you what good had to do, turn a freak like him into a bisexual. How many people in here feel as though that he's guilty? Nah, it wasn't Shaft, Chris. Appreciate Chris. Salute. I see you in the building. That's Richard Roundtree. How many people feel as though, quote unquote, that Puff is guilty? Educational purposes only. Super said straight up and down. He said, I still can't tell. Super, I almost gave you a 20. I almost timed you out for 86,000 seconds just now, Super. Like, Super, I almost timed you out just now for 86,000 seconds. That is 24 hours. You know why I ain't doing it? Because it's after 12 o'clock, and if I'd have did it, you wouldn't have been able to come pull up tomorrow when I go live. So that's why I ain't do it. See, I don't just shoot the gun. I'm a responsible firearm holder. I'm responsible. That's a fact. I gotta say that to him again, man. I gotta word up. But thank you, Divine Order, for that, because number one, if y'all pay attention to my descriptions, I dropped that in there. It's already loaded and locked and loaded. I'm protected like something that's coated with chocolate. You understand what I'm saying to you? Don DeMarco. Nah, man, that bucket hat is the Brooklyn, baby. I just love great content, y'all. I just love great content, man. I'm telling you, yo, is the ladies, some ladies in the building? Yo, Clarice, next Wednesday, I should have did it today. Next Wednesday, because it's the first Wednesday of the month. Next Wednesday, it's the first Wednesday of the month. We got to find out, quote unquote, what's going to be the topic, but we're going to have a Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, grown folks conversation. I need some women in participation, as along with some men to come up here, and we're going to have a great debate and a conversation over something political, maybe, something controversial, most likely, and something that will get on each other's nerves, but we'll be able to have a great conversation without acting like ignoramus nincompoops. Indubitably. Indubitably. Can you dig it? Clarice, have a good night, girl. Word up. I'm about to get out of here, too. Miss Jackie says, sounds like fun. She's still in the building. See that? She's in the building. You know what? Miss Jackie, shout out to Miss Jackie from coming over with my man, Big Paul. I definitely got to give Paul his. We know what Miss Jackie came through yesterday, y'all. We going to put her in the family over. We going to make sure she get right. You know what I'm saying? Because we need shooters. We need shooters over here, too. We need shooters. Got to give her a gun. Bang, 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 bang. A woman that'll kill is somebody that can roll up and chill. Can you dig what I'm saying? Clarice says she always getting timed out. But it ain't nothing but love over here, y'all. That's one thing I want to appreciate y'all for. I'm dead ass serious. I am dead ass serious. The cash apps, the super chats and all that, the attendance, that just, you could have been anywhere else in the world, especially times like this when I go live. Please set your bell notifications because sometimes I will. That means the world to me. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Brian over there. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to everybody that came over. I'm going to make sure they get right. I put their links in the description. I appreciate everybody that pulls up, man. Like, all jokes aside. Long as you come with love, we don't care nothing about no color over here. We just care about your heart. It's always open for a great debate. When you hit that, Assalamu alaikum, Willie Lump Lump. I see you in the building, brother. Why you just coming? I should give you 10 seconds for being late, brother. You should have been here from the beginning, but I'm going to spare you. Nah, I ain't sparing you. Nah, I told you about that. See, I got to stop being that. My heart is always getting me in trouble. See, I told you about coming in here late like that. See, now if you was about 10 or 15 minutes late, I'd have been all right. You wouldn't have got the 10 seconds, but you family. So you got to get the 10 seconds. You got to get the 10 seconds. But make sure you check it back on the replay. Can you dig it? But like I said, the stage is always welcome to everybody. My fault. See, you got to come in here, Willie, because you know I shoot. You know I do it. You know I do it, man. You know I do it, man. Don't do that to me, brother. Come on, brother. Don't do that to me, man. Come on, bro. Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me, brother. Don't do that to me. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, man. But nah, everybody that took the time. And matter of fact, let me see where it's at. Because all jokes aside, man, shout out to Mr. Brian O'Shea and to Paulie and everybody over there at the Pimp Enslaved. I'm at 1,693 subscribers. And I appreciate that to each and one of y'all. 1,693 subscribers. That's 7 people away from 1,700 people. So if there's 1,700 people that's actually subscribed to me through the craziness and the stuff that I went through and I had to go through to get up on YouTube, that shit mean the world to me, y'all. Like all jokes aside. I appreciate everybody that participates and helps me, quote unquote, helping my channel grow with the cash apps and the super chats and everything that's more improved. And if you really want to rock with me, join the membership. They start at $2. $2 in the words of Behind the Bar. They start at $2. Get them memberships. Come on over here and spread some love because I'm going to start doing some exclusive work. And then tell you the truth, to get away from the foolishness on YouTube, I'm going to start doing certain shows where I just want the support is so important, but tell you the truth, the unity is much more desired. Word up. It's only strength in numbers. When it comes to this side of YouTube, unfortunately, shout out to Hank McCoy, shout out to Dog Soldier, shout out to DMW Shots, FTC Vice. Shout out to the home team Guardian, man. Shout out to Always a Queen, Clarice Bradley, Lady Keish. All the people that come through on a positive note, we can show them that it's better than what they doing on YouTube. I pray for everybody. Before I get out of here, I'm going to talk about this. I got to talk about this because this is content also. It's people that run around using my name with their handles, even though it gives exposure, it's exposure that I don't want. And I told you with mental illness, it's so much mental illness and undiagnosed mental illness when you have adults that would use someone else's name just to advocate what they feel, that means that they're surrendering their reality. See, my pops told me about this. When you surrender your reality, I never want to be nobody else in here. I don't want to be none of y'all. I may aspire to be just like y'all. It might be a characteristic or a trait about you that intrigues me to the fact that may better me, so I might put that on my armor. But I am Sharon fucking McLeod, son. I will never trade this spot. It's people on YouTube that's not secure with who they are as people. Don't understand their worth. Whether you're tall, skinny, white, black, Chinese, African, Haitian, you're worth something. The slogan is another day alive, another day free. Why would you wake up trying to be somebody other than me? The description of human beings that I see on YouTube, I was so disappointed when I went over to Pimp Unslaved. When I went over there to that platform, let me tell you why I was disappointed. I was disappointed because I went to a straight white platform. Like in y'all eyes, y'all like saying quote unquote white and black. So I'm going to say it in y'all terminology. I went to a straight white platform. I went to a platform full of great people. So it wasn't about no color with me. And had one of the most powerful bills that I think I've had on YouTube. One of the most powerful bills I think I've ever had on YouTube, without any hollering, without any screaming, without anybody insulting each other. It kind of reminded me like the old Brooklyn. You know why it kind of reminded me of the old Brooklyn, like the old New York? Because in the old New York, when we saw somebody that was getting money, or if we saw a dude that had a beautiful woman, or if we saw somebody that had a beautiful family, we complimented each other. We complimented each other. We was from a very, very unselfish spot where if we seen somebody with a beautiful car, God damn, nigga, you riding that car, ain't you? Mean pair of shoes you got on your feet, dead animal, talking about them minks. I went over there and them people spoke, and then I stopped speaking and they said, Paul asked one of the guys, he was like, yo, do you want to speak on what Dice was saying? He was like, well, tell you the truth, he landed. He said everything that he said, I got to deal with. And then I heard my man Paul said, I'd rather chill with somebody like Big Dice all day instead of fucking with one of y'all clowns all. The same way we talk, they got their own terminology. But see, if you're a human being and you got some sense and you know right from wrong, this doesn't have nothing to do with being a Chinese scholar or something like that, or a scientist or a motherfucker. You dig? If you got a good notion of right and wrong and you put God first, that shit is beautiful. Like, I had a great time over there. It's going on what? January, February, March, April, May. It's going on 5 months. I still see on YouTube good people just tearing each other down. The shit is weird to me, y'all. The shit is like really, really weird to me. I see our women just destroying each, like, I don't know what it's coming to with, like they said. I understand why some of the women really don't have anything to be respectful to because of the characteristics of some of the men on YouTube. Not all. Some of the men on YouTube, when they say they don't see too much to respect. See, it's so much of the buffoonery at a high volume, the ones of some respect and mannerism and morale and etiquette and integrity about themselves, we're overlooked. We are overlooked. Like the Zeke Blacks, the Jai Aces, the Cosmology Bays. We're overlooked. The Yaks, Chicago Finesses, the Wax APs. And then I see our women destroying each other day in and day out. And then people don't understand that that's wrong. Like, It's wrong to get up every day angry with someone. It's wrong. Like, that means it's not wrong that you're doing it. It's wrong, meaning it's something wrong. Something has to be addressed. It's all right to go talk to somebody if something is bothering you. To some of the sisters that I see up here, the vulgarity I hear come out y'all mouths. When I hear y'all embellish on these harsh individuals that you have to protect yourself to seem valid or to seem like you'll be respected or seen. Nah. Respect is demanded by eloquence, by humbleness, by disregarding ignorance and not partaking in ignorance. I pray for everybody, y'all. I hear the things that's coming out of people's mouths to each other, and it seems like our women are more upset and angry than the men. The men are so angry as to the fact where it seems like it's coming and becoming very complainsive every day. The same thing as men we used to say about our women, yo, she complained too much. She keeps saying the same thing. She keep talking. That's what a majority of the men on YouTube have turned into. Adults with the same complacive characteristics of being spoiled and in the need of attention. See, the attention that you need is not your mother, not your woman, not your child. It's mental attention. I say this because I went through it. I have no problem saying that I myself dealt with a therapist. Thank God I didn't have to go to a psychiatrist. But see, when you go to a therapist, you have to tell yourself this is what you really want to do. It ain't no holding back. It's just like in the streets. If you get money and you're going to get that work, you can't get uptown and get 125 grams and then be scared to get back in the road and drive that shit back to Brooklyn or drive it back. If you're going to be in it, you're going to be in it. So it's just like that analogy I'm giving you to the people in the street that sometimes need a little boost with comprehension. When you go to that therapy and that person tells you to talk to them about what's bothering you, it's all right to communicate. It's all right to cry. It's all right to go back to the fact with something you may think about that's been bothering you for years, that because of this persona we supposed to have as men, we supposed to have a harmony where we don't have no feelings. That shit is bullshit. That's why it's a lot of people in jail, unfortunately, that couldn't control their impulsive reaction. That's what I've been working on, my impulsiveness. Learning to ignore the bullshit and put my faith in Allah, because I know Allah knows my heart. And everything I need, Allah will give me, and everything my heart's desires, Allah is giving me. Inshallah, every day. I pray for my sisters. And I pray for the dudes that surround my sisters. See, it's just not the sisters that's coming on YouTube. I see so much past that. To the men that's in these women's lives, put some time into your woman, man. Appreciate her. Let her know who she is as a person. Because I feel bad to the fact that any woman that has to come on YouTube to be heard. Because I hear a lot of arguments and a lot of things that's said to men and women on YouTube that's really, really disappointing to me as a whole. We all human beings, and these platforms are so powerful, and they're being overlooked daily. People are just coming up here, like some people say they're coming up here freestyle. Well, I guess I'm freestyling too, because I do my due diligence, but Allah knows my heart. So everything that comes from Allah, all I have to do is open my mouth. And Allah's work, God's work will show. That's just a cold-blooded fact. I pray every day for the things that I see on YouTube that I want to stop. Appreciate that, Miss Jackie. And if y'all know what y'all doing, y'all will pray for everything that's happening on YouTube to stop, because it's foolishness. I was over there with Miss Jackie and them, and there's a white dude over there that's one of the most meanest dudes ever. See, this comes from hurt. This comes from pain. It's not just us. They make it seem like the dark sector. See, y'all so hypnotized saying it's just the dark sector. No, I done went to another sector that's intriguing and interesting. I seen a white man over there go crazy, not on nobody black. Even though he may have a disagreement with other ethnicities, he going crazy on white people just like him, police. Yeah, he asked the cop, this dude is so crazy. He asked the cop, he said, "Joe, man, where you at?" He said, "Who's you?" He said, "What you mean?" He told him, he said, "Where's your wife?" He said, "Why are you asking me where's my wife at?" The nigga looked at the cop and told the cop, "Your wife's probably fucking a real man." This dude is crazy, man. This dude is crazy. That shit don't got nothing to do with quote unquote no color. That shit is pain. And I'd be disappointed. I ain't gonna front. When I go to certain shows, I don't type. I just look at who's in the chat. I don't even pay attention to what's being said because I know it's foolishness and I know it's bullshit. Because if you could intrigue me for more than 60 seconds, God damn it, you got something to say. Because I can hear bullshit in seconds. But then I watch people that come support it. I'm not hating on nobody. I'm just saying certain things you are infueling people to perform foolishness. It's all right, quote unquote, to go to the Clash of the Titans. China tells y'all every day, this is digital Hollywood. He don't want nobody to get hurt. He ain't trying to hurt nobody. And if you notice how his content and everything is swaying now, China ain't fucking with that goofy ass shit. That's a grown ass man. If you want to bang out like he said, give him a call on a DM. And he will have you up there on the 050 and sit back and let you do what you got to do. Bang out, bang out. But I'm proud of him. If y'all pay attention to the morning show he got with the OG, the elder of the elders, Zeke Black. And me and him the same age, but he an elder because if it wasn't for some of the guidance that he has given me alongside of China Brim, see, I got two of the aces in this game telling me how to move. And see, I know how to act accordingly and fall in line when it comes to the elders because China Brim is the fucking head honcho. He is the goddamn Vince McMahon of this shit. And when niggas recognize that shit and recognize and fall in line and move as a team and a unit as niggas is supposed to, they understand the blessings that come. He always said, he shout me out. He says, Dice, stay on your content. Great content. That's a fact, Super. You see what Super said? He said, I'm telling you, Dice, there's a white beef sector on here, and it's just like the black beef sector, except they make a lot more money. But check this out. The sad part about it is they got a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger. And let me keep it funky with y'all. See, this is when you notice the difference between somebody that really did something and somebody that didn't. The motherfuckers that's always talking about what they want to do is some people that have done some things because they just have death wishes. A lot of people are so miserable, they want to go to heaven, they just don't have the motherfucking haul or pull a gun out and blow their brains up. But then there's some real people that did some things where we just don't want no problems. That's just a fact. That's a fact. And you see what Divine said, we definitely need our elders. If it wasn't for the know-how that I get from my elders, especially on YouTube, who knows where I'd be at right now. I know people that have been on YouTube for a long time and certain things just seem not to fall in place, see? Because I'm not here for the clicks and the views. I appreciate everybody that participate. I love all the subs. But I'd rather have a great night of interaction, timing each other out, joking, playing, really getting some information and getting to know each other without having to be around each other because there's times we going through right now, people are depressed. People don't know. They don't know. They need people. They need an outlet. That's why I started timing people out for 10 seconds in a minute because people need to fucking laugh. People are angry. Shit, there's times I wake up angry. Go to sleep angry. I can't tell nobody what they can't do. Shit, I go to sleep angry sometimes thinking about how I miss my mother. I wake up angry. A lot of times waking up like, how the fuck am I waking up without my mother? You dig? Never forget, put God first. Keep your family tight. And then when it comes to this grown folks comp, you know who does it. Everybody talked about Diddy this week, but they ain't talk about Diddy like I did, not like Sharon McLeod's son. Everybody talked about this, they talked about that, but they ain't talk about it from back then with Shine. They ain't bring up my man wife and wondering why, quote unquote, Shine got convicted for something and then extradited back to his country to Belize. But look how God works. It's Allah. He's now the prime minister of Belize. Ain't nobody was talking about that. Ain't nobody bring that up. Shout out to Ziggy Black because number one, they wasn't there. See, I was there. I was supposed to be at that party. My man right around the corner, Julius, my man Botch, rest in peace to his sister Pam. He got shot in the arm that night. The lady that was just talking to you was married to my man Barry. Shout out to Barry and Hawk from Jackie Robinson. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I appreciate all of y'all for pulling up, man. Y'all already know the slogan, man. Another day alive, another day free, man. Don't forget to tell a person you love. LOVE. You dig me?
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?